This telecast is available on ESPN2 HD, presented by Pioneer Plasma Displays. We are at Dowdy Ficklin Stadium, home of the Pirates of East Carolina. They're faithful on hand to see quarterback James Pinckney lead their team against the 4th-ranked West Virginia Mountaineers and the #1 rush offense in the land, highlighted by a trio of slash, dash, and bash. Football on ESPN2. Welcome, everybody. This is the home of the Pirates of East Carolina. A 1-2 mark coming in against the #4 team in the nation, the Mountaineers of West Virginia. Can it be upset day on the home turf of the Pirates? That's the issue here. Welcome, everybody. I'm Gary Thorne along with Andre Ware. If it's going to be an upset, you're going to have to shut down the best rushing team in the nation. The assistant coach of West Virginia went out and recruited the quarterback, Patrick White, and said when he did it, if we get him, and they did, we'll win a national championship. Maybe this is the year.
Well, I'll tell you what, they've certainly positioned themselves with him at quarterback to do just that this season. He wanted to become more of a polished passer this offseason. He's done that, 74% completion percentage. He has become the leader of this West Virginia offense, and he's only a sophomore. The other half of that spark, Steve Slayton, is just dynamic. Don't blink, Gary, with this guy. 113 yards in the first quarter is what he averages, so electric is Steve Slayton.
Let me repeat that. That's first quarter, ladies and gentlemen. If you're doing that, it means you've got some guys who go down into that set position before the snap up front in that line who are really good.
Well, it's that big offensive line up front who might be the best in the entire country for West Virginia. 4 guards start on the offensive line. All 4 guys came in as guards. Only 1 true tackle. Jake Figner was a tackle when he arrived at West Virginia, but they get it done with quickness and speed up front.
Now, when East Carolina gets the football, if they're going to have an upset, then they are going to have to put the ball in the end zone. They, too, will look to a big rusher.
Yeah, Chris Johnson is their guy. He's a slasher type who had a big game against West Virginia last season. He can provide the spark that East Carolina needs rushing the football against an undersized defensive front of West Virginia.
Pirates do have the advantage of being at home. We'll show you later how they have pulled some upsets here in the past. If they're going to get it done, what are the pluses?
Well, you know, you look at it, they have competed against this West Virginia football team. They've got coaches, the defensive coordinator, he coached with Rich Rodriguez at Tulane. They had a lot of pluses last week against Memphis. They faced a 3-3-5 defense. So you look at East Carolina, they're prepared for this football game. And plus, on their side, last year's game, they lost it on a punt return in the special teams. They can compete with West Virginia.
The Mountain Men are here, but it is one angry Pirate that they're going to come up against here at the home of the Pirates of East Carolina. Kickoff coming up, #4 team on the field when we come back.
That's that.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, the fans are already here. They've been here for a long time. They've been making a lot of noise as they hope here in East Carolina they can pull the upset early and even up their mark. Why, of course, the Mountaineers are trying to go 4-0. Another quarterback important in this game, Todd Harris.
Gary, for East Carolina, it's all up to James Pinckney, the 5th-year senior. And this 2006 campaign for him is all about chemistry. That's not as major as just what he's hoping to get out of this season. You see, for the last 4 years, Pinckney has had to learn a new system each year, either under a head coach or a new offensive coordinator. This year was Steve Shankweiler, the offensive coordinator for ECU. This will be the first time he's had the same offensive coordinator for 2 years in a row. Coach Skip Holtz is hoping that translates into a lot of points. Now, Andre, since you have one of those statues, you know, with the stiff arm, I got to ask you, what would it be like for you to have learned a new system every single year, and would you have had that Heisman, buddy?
Well, Todd, I kind of equate it to being a freshman all over again, because you're starting basically at stage 1. Every year you come back, you have a new coordinator. It's like starting all over again, learning a foreign language, so to speak. First year he learned German. First year he learned, second year Spanish. Now he's finally learned English, and he can master it this season, Gary.
And we'll get a chance early. West Virginia's won the toss. They have chosen to defend. East Carolina's going to get the football. You take a look at Chris Johnson, their running back, James Pinckney, the quarterback, who has got to have a big day, and their leading receiver, Andre Allison.
Yeah, three guys that really had good performances last year against this West Virginia football team. You see Pinckney there. He's the guy. He's going to shoulder it. They've got to be able to run the football, and I think Chris Johnson is going to provide just enough in the run game for East Carolina to have some success on offense.
So East Carolina will get the opportunity, as West Virginia will be in their road white for this game, the home purple and gold for the Pirates, who are hoping for the big upset. Skip Holtz, their second-year coach, seventh-year overall as a head coach. He is 6-8 here in a program that is revitalizing itself. They have a lot of young players on this team, and their hope that this is the kind of game, you know, that can put you over one more hump in getting to the national level of recognition.
You can get your players to really believe in what you're doing, the system and the program that you're implementing at East Carolina. Talking with Skip Holtz yesterday, he felt like they are a much better football team this season than they were last year when they faced this West Virginia team.
All right, we are ready to go. We'll see what happens as West Virginia will boot it. It'll be back Jarek Hewitt deep in the end zone, and there he will down it. It'll come out to the 20-yard line, and East Carolina will take over and go on offense. There you see the lineup with Johnson, the leading runner, Pinckney at quarterback. Dosh is probably going to be mostly blocking, doesn't do much else, but a big job up front.
Yeah, and it's going to be on those guys to really protect James Pinckney, as well as open holes for Chris Johnson. Good run blocker is Josh Kaufman, number 76, the big right guard for East Carolina.
East Carolina offense likes to throw the football when given the chance, and may have to do that today. If West Virginia has a weakness, it may be their secondary. Chris Johnson is going to be in at the tailback position. He's going to carry over the 20 and maybe a yard. And that's going to be about it. Defensively, while we talk a lot about the offense of this West Virginia team, make no mistake, there is nothing wrong with their defensive unit.
No, not at all. I mean, they like to run that 3-3-5 stack, and you think, well, three guys on the defensive line, you can run the football. No, they're stout in the middle. Pat Liebig, the big nose tackle there, disrupts the middle of every formation and every team that they play.
And only a gain of a yard on that last play. Pinckney will come out working out of the shotgun. He's got a slot man to the near side, split both ways, looks into the flats. It is caught, and an immediate tackle made at the 19. Bobby Good, the wide receiver, but boy, they had that one covered. An immediate tackle made before he could even get turned around on the play. Vaughn Rivers the hit.
And that's what you got to do. Rally to the football. They're just trying to swing it out there, get something positive going. And Vaughn Rivers out there in space making a nice tackle. Came to West Virginia as a corner. They moved him to a wide receiver. Now he's back at his natural position at cornerback.
East Carolina's first third down play, 3rd down and 10. They lost a yard. They are 19 out of 40 on the year in third down conversions. Pinckney out of the shotgun. Got to get 10 on this one. Big rush, gets sacked, fumble the football, picks it up down at the 10. And for East Carolina, disastrous first offensive series. Dykes moved in and put the hit on their 3rd-year starter.
Yeah, you see him, James Ingram there applying pressure, and they get that pressure with just a 3-man rush. You see the push up front by Johnny Dingle, and they're closing things out is Colleen Dykes. But I'll tell you what, you think of this West Virginia football team, you think all offense, boy, they are awfully talented on the defensive side of the football.
Now it's going to be punted out of the end zone. Ryan Doherty averaging 40 yards a kick. He is a 2-time all-conference punter. Lewis and Rivers will be back, and West Virginia is going to get great possession territorially out of this, even with a really good kick. That is fumbled, and did Carolina get it? Flags down. I think Carolina got it. There was no fair catch called for, and West Virginia commits an enormous first turnover.
Yeah, and the officials are going to have to talk about this because he was awfully close and didn't really have enough room to field this punt. So they're going to talk about it, but boy, this would be a huge break for East Carolina if they come up with a football here.
Kick catching interference.
Yep.
On East Carolina. Number 22. 15-yard penalty from the spot the infraction. First down.
Marcus McQueen is the man who gets called. And there he is, number 22.
Yeah, just right there. He's down in time. You just got to give enough space, and arriving a little bit early. Really not, you got to have those your head up and your eyes on the receiver there or the punt returner, and just kind of runs into him a little bit early. Boy, that would have been big for East Carolina.
And Antonio Lewis did not single fair catch, and I was really surprised when he tried to run with the football.
And you tack on the extra yardage here, and all of a sudden you're spotting West Virginia. They don't need to be spotted anything in a football game.
Yeah, number 1 rushing team in the nation goes to work here. Patrick Wright, number 5, is a quarterback. Steve Slayton, number 10, primary running back for this team. You see him moving around back there. They've got receivers to the near side are split out of the shotgun. That is Slayton as he slashes, gets to the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard, but that's all. Flournoy moves in. Jamar Flournoy moved in and put the hit on. The in-play players you're going to be looking at here. Slayton, who can run. Renard, who can catch the football. And White, who can run and pass.
Well, you heard of the 3 guys at Dallas, the Cowboys. You don't want to compare them to those guys, the triplets, but this is certainly a good group of college triplets for West Virginia. The quarterback, Patrick White, 4.4 speed. Steve Slayton, equally as fast. And in the pass game, Darius Renard can certainly get it done.
They gained a yard. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 9. White looking to the near side flats on the reception, and that's going to be to the line of scrimmage and maybe a couple as Darius Renard, their leading receiver, who has now caught 9 for 71 yards and 1 touchdown, gets that one, but only a gain of a couple on the reception.
And you see here West Virginia, their entire offense and the guys that make it go, the big offensive line up front, a lot of quickness and speed. Mentioned it at the top. 4 guys on the offensive line came to West Virginia as guards. Only 1 true tackle, Jake Figner.
3rd down and 6. They're 19 out of 31 in 3rd down conversions. They don't like their set. They're running out of time here. Got to get this snap off for West Virginia. White backs up into the shotgun. 2 receivers to the wide side. 3rd down and 6. The lefty looking. White drops it off. Got a lot of room in front. Will not be enough for the 1st down. Owen Schmidt, who you'll hear a lot about. He's a tailback, a receiver there. Pierre Bell, the linebacker, got him. They needed 6 and they got 5.
Well, this is just what East Carolina needs. Stop West Virginia early. Make them work for hard, tough yards because they like to get going downhill. And if they can do it full speed with Slayton, boy, it's a long afternoon for a defense. But boy, they're going to be tested right here early by Rich Rodriguez.
They're going to go for it. 4th down. They are 1 for 2 on 4th down conversions. It is 4th down and a yard. 4th and 1. They put that 2-man running back set in. 2nd man through, and that's going to be a 1st down and then some.
Well,
Great run by Owen Schmidt.
And just a guy, when I talked to him yesterday, he said, I just like to hit, whether it's hitting defensive linemen, linebackers, DBs. If there's nobody there, I'll just hit the ground. Right there, he's hitting the line of scrimmage, shoulder pad level, forward. He's going to fall forward for the 1st down. He is a load that they can line up at tailback in short yardage situations.
Steve Slayton comes back in, 5-yard gain for Schmidt. Big play for West Virginia, so they go early on the 4th down conversion on the 4th and 1, and they got 5 yards. Again, out of the shotgun. Comes to the near side. When he turns the corner, look out. Slayton in, easy touchdown. A flag is down behind the play.
Yeah, I think it's going to be holding on Rashawn Bolton, the wide receiver. They block so well downfield, these West Virginia wide receivers. I think he's going to get called for a hold on this play.
23-yard gain that's going to be nullified and a touchdown.
On the offense, number 82. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the infraction. Replay 1st down.
Yeah, he's a big wide receiver. Right there, you see him get the lot back right there. Just enough of the jersey to draw the attention of the official and brings back a touchdown. What a break for East Carolina.
The penalties haven't really caught up with West Virginia yet, but they're the most penalized team in the Big East, 240 yards.
Yeah, and you got to feel like eventually in a big or a close football game, penalties will catch up with West Virginia. They usually do to any football team.
Their great offense has overcome that. Now they're going to have to do it here again. So they go back into the shotgun. First down and 13. Slayton, there's the come around the end from the far side. A lot of room at the 20, 15, and down to the 14. Darius Renard, the wide receiver, rushing from the other side, and Flournoy again in on the hit.
Yeah, and the guy that makes it all go is the quarterback, Pat White. Watch the block right here. After the handoff, he's going to circle around and get a block right there, freeing up Darius Renard to get level downfield, north and south. Watch this block. You talk about quarterbacks competing. Pat White, complete quarterback, running, throwing, and you know what? Sprinkle in a block or two.
Yeah, this is a spread offense that uses the option. You can see now why early on in this game why they are so difficult to defend against. If you're on the defense, you must hold your position, or you're going to be in deep trouble. That'll be carried by Slayton away from 1 at the 12. He finally gets gang tackle, but it's going to be enough for the first down. Flournoy again, the third tackle that he has made. Look how tough it is to bring down Steve Slayton.
Well, when you talk about West Virginia, you better defend both the front side and the back side of a formation. One, because of that guy there, Steve Slayton. He can take it front side, break it all the way back, or hit the corner on you as well. We saw the reverse, handed to Slayton, the reverse to Darius Renard coming out the back side of it. So you have to stay in your rush lanes. They preach staying in the foxhole as Greg Hudson, their defensive coordinator.
First down, they can get inside the 1-yard line. So first down and 10, carried to the near side. A lot of room. Slayton gets stood up and still falls ahead to the 4-yard line where Pierre Bell, the outside linebacker, came in to get him. So it is clear already what's the job to be done by the East Carolina defense. They are going to have to be enormously good today.
Yeah, and it's going to be the 3 linebackers that will be tested. Up front, they're solid, but these linebackers going to have to make plays when they arrive. Quentin Cotton, who leads them in tackles, will have to wrap up. He'll be there to make plays. If they stay in their gaps, they will be there to make plays. They just got to wrap up Steve Slayton when they get to him.
Owen Schmidt, that big fullback, is the second man in there. It is a second down and 4 for the first down, 5 for the touchdown. White's going to carry, cuts back inside, and did he get in? No. Yes, touchdown! Patrick White spun his way in, the quarterback for the TD, and a 5-yarder, and now in each of the last 6 games, this Mountaineer team has scored a touchdown on its first drive.
And you know, you got to weather the storm. They come at you in bunches. They get yards in bunches. You just kind of have to stay in your game plan, have some success offensively when it's there if you're East Carolina, because West Virginia is going to score. You can't keep them out of the end zone.
That is the second rushing touchdown for Patrick White. McAfee is out for the extra point. He puts it up, and it is good. So this team that lives on offense and comes into this game second in the nation, averaging 46 points a game, a 5-yard finish, 8 plays, 37 yards. White, the quarterback, the TD. Here in East Carolina, it is the pirate that is the symbol of their sports programs. On hand here today, both statuesque-wise, and also out there on the field, but this West Virginia team,
Yeah, we talked to Rich Rodriguez. He said there's four offensive guys that came in. They were all guards and then 1 tackle. You heard me mention that earlier. It's because they want to get their best 5 offensive linemen. They don't care if it's tackles, guards, just the best 5 guys. And it happened to be 4 guards who came to school at West Virginia and 1 tackle on that offensive line.
East Carolina will get it back. They are trailing. Hewitt again. This is 1 yard deep to the 10, 20, and gets tackled and swung down at about the 26-yard line. And I mean really swung around by Eric Wicks. Todd Harris.
Well, mark this one, and they're just happy to be standing. Chris Johnson, number 5, the starting tailback, broke a vertebrae in his neck, and the junior from Orlando, Florida, went through a very tough offseason surgery and rehab. Many did not think he was going to return to football. It wasn't such a good idea after an extensive neck surgery. Spent the spring fitted with one of those bulking neck collars as part of his rehabilitation, mixed spring drills, worked tirelessly through late spring and summer to get back to 100%, and here he is, proof that if you put your mind towards something, you can accomplish it. He is fully recovered recovered from neck surgery. They say there are no residual effects.
And the fake to him, Bigney looking over the middle. That'll be completed at the 35 near a first down. The amazing thing about Chris Johnson is he played 3 games last year with a broken vertebrae before he found out he had it.
Now you watch here, just the inside receiver working in zone coverage right there. Going to sit it down. In West Virginia, they will lock up a little bit a man through the zone in their defensive fronts or in their coverages. But when you see the zone, you got to, if you're James Pinckney, the football's got to come out fast because they rally to the football, this West Virginia defense.
They're going to pass a lot. East Carolina, 52% so far this season of their plays have been pass plays. They run the draw play up to about the 40. Brandon Fractious, Chris Johnson and Brandon Fractious will be the 2 tailbacks. You'll hear from both of them today. Fractious averaging about 24 in the rushing department.
Yeah, they like to run him in the middle of most formations. They said he's the guy we like to go between the tackles with. Chris Johnson's a slasher type who can get to the edge with the speed and really turn the corner.
Fractious stays in the backfield. Both of these teams run almost a non-huddle. East Carolina will go back and huddle up a bit. West Virginia oftentimes will have no huddle at all. Fractious, the only man in the backfield on the carry, ran into his pulling guard that time and will get up to about the 41-yard line of scrimmage. And a half a yard at most as Dykes again moved in and put the hit on.
Yeah, last week we talked about them. They faced Memphis, who really brings pressure off the edges. West Virginia like to mix it up in the middle. So when you run the football against them, stay committed to one side because there's not room to cut back. They're too fast of rallying to the football, this West Virginia football team defensively.
Pinckney is 62% effective in passing the football. He's got a 3rd down and 5 here. Another 3rd down. They've got 5 receivers in this offensive set. Only 1 deep defensive back for West Virginia. Flats wide open. 45. Did he stay in bounds long enough to get a first down? I don't think so.
I think it's going to be just short.
Boy, he had plenty of room. There was, if he'd been able to stay in bounds, he could easily have gotten up to the first down marker.
And a little bubble here by Philip Henry, and then a curl route behind it, and you just read the area inside guy, which takes James Pinckney to the bubble. And I'll tell you, it's going to be just short, but I'll tell you, Skip Holtz, he's going to go for it here.
Figure they got to try and get their offense moving. So we saw West Virginia convert on a 4th down in this game, and now early on, we're going to see East Carolina try it. So the defense of West Virginia is going to be challenged here. A 4th down. East Carolina's gone 1 for 3. That is straight ahead, and that's going to be close. James Pinckney and then sneak.
My favorite play right there. Short yardage situations, quarterback, you don't have to worry about a bunch of ball handling. If there's penetration, getting to the running back, take the quarterback. He's a big guy, 6'3", 220 pounds. Get good push from the center up front. Tom Wiggenbaum and Josh Kaufman, the right guard. They get tremendous push. First down, East Carolina.
So they convert and they get a first down. Another 5 receivers set on a first down situation. First down at their own 47-yard line. Again, looking to the sideline as the plays are changed sometimes after the formation is set. And right now, Allison, number 2, the receiver near side, wasn't quite sure where he's supposed to be. James Pinckney out of the shotgun, low snap, looking for him, found him, favored the receiver, Allison. He's going to get hit and driven out of bounds, but he'll take it into West Virginia territory. Antonio Lewis on the hit.
Well, here's one of the rays of hope for East Carolina. They run the same offense as West Virginia, so they get to work against it in practice defensively. East Carolina's defensive backs coach, Rick Smith was on the same staff with Coach Rodriguez at Tulane, and you know they faced the 3-3-5 last week against Memphis, so they got a good look at it that last week. I think they're prepared for this football team.
Look at this. They come to the line. They all turn to the sideline. They get the sign. Then they go into their offensive set after they've come to the football. Pinckney goes back into that shotgun. It is a 2nd down and 3, 5 receivers. Looking down the middle, wide open. Can he get away at the 20-yard line? Allison to the 10. Allison 5. Touchdown! Flag down.
I tell you, you mentioned it. They come to the line of scrimmage. They break the huddle, get to the line of scrimmage, and then look to the sideline. They're looking to the offensive coordinator for the play. They get West Virginia lined up in the defense that they like, and then they can call the offensive play for that. You see him get in cover 2, and then all of a sudden the cornerback bites. Andre does a good job, Andre Allison, of converting his route to the fade away from the free safety or the safety on that side of the field. And I'll tell you, right on time. Good read by the quarterback, James Pinckney, to go along with it.
Excessive celebration is the penalty. Touchdown counts, and we marked off on the kickoff. Andre Allison's second reception for a TD and a 47-yard drive, and that is the first point to be scored against West Virginia in the first quarter this year. This is game number 4. They had not given up a point. They'd outscored the opposition 56-0 in the first quarter. That has been broken here by East Carolina. Robert Lee, one of my heroes, comes out at the 10. The kick is up by Lee, and it is good. And East Carolina, while it's early in the football game, has early stunned the defense of West Virginia. 47-yard touchdown play, a 75-yard drive. It is tied at 7. Andre Allison getting his 9th career touchdown reception, his 2nd of the season for East Carolina. They've tied this up, and the purple and gold celebrating. There's the wide receiver.
Yeah, I got a chance to talk to him yesterday. He said, you know what, this is my coming out party. He said, nobody recognizes me down here at East Carolina. Went for over 1,200 yards last season receiving. This is a national TV against the number 4 team in the country. I'm going to have a big one.
You already started.
And he's off to a good start.
7-7, so the West Virginia defense finds out what it's like to be scored against in the first for the first time. Ryan Doherty will get set to do the kicking. West Virginia will get it back. It will be kicked from the 20-yard line with the excessive celebration penalty marked off on Rivers. Darius Renaud is back, and a very short kick to the near sideline. It'll be handled at the 28-yard line. Renaud will bring it up, and both teams are in the pile there, and they take over. Let's go back. Linda Cohn, a Sports Center in-game update.
All right, Gary, this update presented by Taco Bell. You know, it was a 2-point game between Texas and Iowa State, but then Texas redshirt freshman quarterback Colt McCoy with a wide receiver screen to Limas Swede, 23-14. Back to you, Gary.
Linda, thanks very much. A lot of very close games here so far on this Saturday with top-ranked teams.
Yeah, Georgia had a nice scare today by Colorado, actually winning that football game on the final play. A lot of close ones this afternoon.
Patrick White will go back to work. West Virginia, 3 receivers set to that wide side. Slayton is the lone running back here. Slayton stands ahead of the quarterback, part of the option. There it is right there. Slayton takes the handoff on the inside. And this is where Carolina is so fired up. Scotty Robinson, the defensive end, a red-shirted freshman, moved in and put the hit on. They probably have 9 guys keying on him. Take a look again after the touchdown.
Yeah, you see here, Andre Allison, this is the excessive celebration penalty that he's going to draw the flag on. And then his head coach, Skip Holtz, right there, just talking to him a little bit, just kind of tone it down. Good job on the play, but just act like you've been there before.
I love
and
that.
He has many times.
One of my all-time favorite lines. All right, lost 2 on that one. A second down end at 12. Slayton doesn't lose much in terms of rushing yardage as he averages 167 a game. There's the pitch to him. Turns it. Got to make that one-on-one. That is one tough tackle. Kyle Chase, strong safety in a one-on-one against Slayton. You deserve to celebrate that.
Well, I tell you what, good job of rallying up to the football. And you see here, occupy the quarterback. There's the pitch. And then Kyle Chase is right here. Going to show up open field with one of the best backs in the entire country. And you're able to get him on the ground. That is an excellent open field tackle.
That's the kind of play that you're going to have to see out of this East Carolina defense. They are 108th out of 117 teams against the rush. 3rd down and 7 from the 40-yard line for West Virginia. White, 5 receivers. The southpaw looking. He can also run. He's gonna. Nowhere near the first down. East Carolina up to get him a couple of yards. Quentin Cotton, the outside linebacker and their leader, makes the hit.
Well, he's the guy that leads them in tackles. And when we talked to this East Carolina football team yesterday, we always joke around about maybe sipping the Kool-Aid when you go in and having coaches tell you, well, we expect to play well against a good high-powered team. They were not intimidated, and they had faced this football team last year, an 11-1 West Virginia team, fought them to the bitter end. They felt like they would play well today in this football game, and Gary, so far, they have.
Long way to go. tied up. Minute 56 left in the first. Steve Kozlowski will come out to do the punting. He doesn't get to do that very often. And a line drive kick. And they're going to have to let it roll. West Virginia will get the bounce inside the 15. What a bounce. All the way down to the 11-yard line on the punt. Kozlowski, who averages 40, got 50 on that one. Hey, do you know who the first player to have his number retired by West Virginia football is? Well, we're going to tell you when we get back. We'll take a look at our heroes of the program. One of West Virginia's prolific linemen, Robert Lee Sam Huff, played on offense and defense. In his 4-year collegiate career at West Virginia, he accumulated a 31-7 record. He was inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame in 1980. And number 75 became the first Mountaineer to have his number retired in November of last year. Sam Huff. And he became a great linebacker in the National Football League for the New York Football Giants. And when he and Jim Brown were playing for Cleveland, one of the great matchups in the NFL's early days. East Carolina deep in their own territory. They go straight ahead, and the carry by Chris Johnson will be good for about 5 yards. Sam Huff was one of my heroes. I was a Giant football fan as a kid. And Sam Huff, there was a great show done on him called The Violent World of Sam Huff, because he was a ferocious linebacker, even though not very big.
Yeah, 5 Pro Bowls to go along with that successful career. Just an amazing player.
Played right here. West Virginia was the site. 2nd down and 6. East Carolina, they are tied up. James Pinckney at quarterback. He's got a couple of running backs, 2 wide receivers to the near side. Johnson again on the carry. He'll gain maybe a couple on that. Chris Johnson, averaging 62 rushing yards per game, had 106 yards against Memphis earlier this season. And let's go back to Linda Cohn. We'll get a Sports Center in-game update.
Okay, Gary, big battle in Pac-10. Cal whipping it up against Arizona State, led by Nate Longshore. 8-yard TD pass to Deshaun Jackson. 4 touchdown passes in the first half by Longshore. And Penn State and Ohio State in the rain. It's the Nittany Lions by 3.
Whoa.
You know, some teams just have others' numbers.
On the defense, number 19, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Well, here we go, West Virginia. These penalties. Rich Rodriguez was not happy about it last week against Maryland when he committed what he called stupid penalties. Talked to his team about it, and they've started doing it again.
Yeah, they were mixing it up. Vaughn Rivers, and he's on the sideline now talking with Coach Rodriguez, but he's mixing it up with one of the East Carolina receivers, and he threw the last punch, and all of a sudden finds himself out of this ball game on the sideline with his coach, probably getting an earful. A 15-yard penalty to go along with it. It
brings up a 1st down and 10, moves that ball all the way up to the 32-yard line. Fractious has come into the backfield, looks to the near side flats. They clearly want to go here, and that is Philip Henry on the reception. They've tried twice on that flat pass, but the great coverage by the defensive backs have swallowed it up.
All right, it looks like it's there, but they do such a fabulous job of getting to the football. Number 43, Kevin Boo McLeod, actually goes inside, and they're able to pop it out there, but the secondary just rallying to the football.
Pinckney is now 6 for 6 in the passing department. During that touchdown drive, he went 4 for 4 and had a 4-yard carry and a quarterback sneak. And you know something? If someone had said to East Carolina, you're going to play number 4 West Virginia at home, they haven't given up any points in the half, but at the end of the first quarter, it's going to be 7-7. They'd take it. They got it. Great to have you with us here in East Carolina, where it's a 7-7 ball game. Number 4, University of West Virginia taking on the Pirates. And a good first quarter of play. 2nd down and 9 here. And it'll be the Pirates on the offense. 2nd down and 9 at their own 33-yard line. Pinckney again, who is a passing quarterback, will carry it on the keep. Not going to go very far on that one. Maybe back to the line of scrimmage, and the defense stops him there for a gain of a couple. That was Kevin McLeod who hit him.
You know, I know you got to protect the football, but I mean, they've had some success with James Pinckney throwing the football, spreading out this West Virginia defense, and that may be the formula for teams that face them. The passing game, spread them out, make them prove that 1, they can rush and get to you, but 2, that they can pass defend. You know, just keep doing what you've done to have success.
There they are again, looking to the sideline, getting the play. 3rd down and 9. Pinckney is 6 for 6 in the passing department.
Philip Henry out here wide open.
Wide open. They got the deep back on the coverage. They're looking in the middle. There he is. I mean, wide open, 45, 50. And that's going to be a first down. Andre Ware played quarterback and said, give me an audible.
Well, you know what? It's easy. Just throw where they're not. And Philip Henry sitting out there in the slot, you can make a lot of yardage. Look how deep the safety is here and all this cushion. All you do is raise up. If you're James Pinckney, identify, raise up, give him the football, and let him pick up the first down for you.
I mean, that was too easy. That's as easy as you're going to find that kind of yardage. 17 yards and a first down. Ball is spotted right at midfield. Now look at them all look.
Well,
everybody.
They're getting the play.
I love
Skip
it.
Holtz, right now, they're getting the offensive play because they have got West Virginia in the defense that they want them in.
James Pinckney, you see that defense, 3-3 defense all over the place. On the carry to the line of scrimmage, not going to go anywhere. That is Pinckney. Pinckney as a runner doesn't do a whole lot except when he has to, at least prior to coming into this game. Pinckney had only 15 carries, 64 yards.
Well, they're going to play a lot of wide receivers against this West Virginia team. They cannot stay in the 3-3-5 if they're going to defend East Carolina, because you're going to have matchups with linebackers on slot receivers, which happened with Philip Henry when he was uncovered. The linebacker was inside on pass rush. That's why he's so wide open. You can't stay in that personnel if you're West Virginia. East Carolina's just got to continue to do what they're having success doing. Forget all the quarterback draws and all that stuff. Throw the football.
There's a lot of coaching going on so far in this game on both sides, because both sides are trying to adjust, and it's who can get the adjustment done last and best.
You know what? If I'm East Carolina, I just start to air it out, because it had to be a flaw in this West Virginia football team, and I think they've exposed it.
West Virginia took a timeout. They did not like where they were defensively, so they called the timeout. With this game tied 7-7, and we're just into the second quarter, we want to remind you, led by Warwick Dunn and Michael Vick, the Falcons off to their great running start. They'll not take a back seat to anybody except maybe the upcoming game. They're going to be playing the Saints, and 13 months after Katrina, the Superdome reopens. It's 8:30 Eastern. ESPN's Monday Night Football will be a great show both on and off the field.
That should be a good one. Pinckney in this football game, that last drive when they scored, 4 for 4 for 68 yards, and then the big fourth down quarterback sneak to keep the drive going right here, just plunging it forward, and then he comes back with a big pass outside, identifying coverage, cover two, finding the receiver between the corner and the safety, and then after the catch, boy, that is irreplaceable. Andre Allison getting in the end zone. When you can find a receiver that can catch the football first, but then he's dynamic after the catch, boy, that's special. Look at that. That's a heck of a start for James Pinckney. Let him throw the football.
Yeah, and East Carolina's done the other thing they wanted, time of possession. They're at 9:32. West Virginia at 7:17. East Carolina knows they've got to keep it away from that great offense. It is a second down and whistles, everybody moving on the play. And the flag goes down just as the ball was snapped.
And that will drive a coach crazy. You're coming out of a timeout.
Prior to snap.
And then you have the false start.
On the offense, number 74. 5-yard penalty, remains second down.
Because you're in a situation where you're facing the number 4 team in the country. You can't afford the mistakes. Coming out of a timeout, you have a guy jump. Hey, settle in there.
Boy, on the sideline, non-stop conversation and non-stop signal calling.
Two total opposite ends of the spectrum there. A lot of rushing yards for West Virginia, and it's been mostly pass for East Carolina. If they're smart, they'll keep throwing the football.
Second down and 15. The ball at the 45-yard line. East Carolina in their own territory. 13-11 to go here in the first half. Got to run with it. Looking deep over the middle. Came back to get it. Intercepted at the 45. Still on his feet. And will get it up to midfield. Eric Weeks on the interception. Offensive receiver deflected it. It is an 8-yard return after Andre Allison could not hang on, and it went off his fingers.
Boy, James Pinckney just tried to do too much. You see it right here. Another uncovered receiver at the top of the formation, which happened to be Philip Henry again. Right there. Just give him the football. He's still wide open. In your view right there. Give him the football. Tries to force it inside to Andre Allison, and that's the result, an interception.
That is the first interception that West Virginia has had this season. It is the fourth that was thrown by James Pinckney on the year. So now West Virginia is going to get it back. First down and 10. Great field position again at the 49-yard line of East Carolina. Slayton on the carry. Tough to bring down one-on-one as Pierre Parker went for a ride right there. He'll have a gain of about 5. Let's go back to Linda Cohn for a SportsCenter in-game update.
Alabama, Arkansas. J.P. Parker to D.J. Hall. Alabama and Arkansas. 78-yard hookup here between these two. Good game, highly contested. That put him up 7-3. Back to you, Gary, in a good SEC battle.
Good one. It is a second down and 6. Fake. They go over the middle. That ball's going to be caught at the 27-yard line. Brandon Miles, who's called the big play wide receiver, gets that one. 18 yards and a first down.
Yeah, and he leads them in touchdown catches with 3 on the season and average yards per catch at 10.6. So he can stretch the field. He's a big wide receiver, 6'3". And he's got a big body frame. You let him get inside with body position. His hands are excellent. He's going to come up with a big catch for you.
No huddle offense for West Virginia. Patrick White at quarterback, a freshman All-American. He is only a red-shirted sophomore. Comes to the flats incomplete. That one couldn't be held. Darius Renaud, their wide receiver, who gets a lot of big touchdown passes.
Well, now you see East Carolina starting to put 7, 8 guys in the box. And you know what? They hit us with one for a first down. So what? Prove it over time is what you do to Pat White. Keep those 7, 8 guys in the box, protecting against the run, because they want to line up and hit you in the mouth first and foremost. Make Pat White pick the football up and effectively throw it against you.
Second down and 10. East Carolina ranked 108th defensively rushing, but 37th against the pass. Again, they'll dump it. Slayton on the far side, 25-20, cuts back into the 10-yard line. That'll be a first down before Kyle Chase can get Slayton. 17-yard gain.
Well, I tell you, good swing pass, and then he's going to pick up some excellent blocking out here. You see the big offensive lineman right there pulling out, chopping people down. Left tackle Ryan Stanchek. I mean, I tell you, if you get Slayton pointed downhill going full speed, that is a tough chore bringing him down.
As soon as he's got that first step, he is on his way.
It's unbelievable, the speed.
It is a first down. West Virginia looking to get that lead back here in the second quarter. They'll slot it to the far side. Quarterback keep down to the 6-yard line. Patrick White, Jay Ross rather, moved in on the hit. Todd.
Andre talks about Steve Slayton's speed. Talk about his strength. Now, he's got an injured wrist. He hurt it last year, actually, in the Connecticut game when he fell on it. They're thinking he probably will need some type of surgery or rehab. It's either a bruise or a broken bone, a small bone in the wrist. But Coach Rodriguez says it's no big deal. Look what he does in the gym. Bench presses 425 pounds. That's Gary Thorne type strength, guys.
You got it, Bubba. You got it. Looking to carry it in. Quarterback keeps. Slayton was blocking that time. Patrick White put it in his belly and pulled it back out, and Pierre Bell moved in on the hit, and this East Carolina defense being asked to do it again.
Yeah, you talk about unselfish player. Watch the block here, Steve Slayton. Pump it in there, fake it, and then now I'm going to go block somebody for my quarterback. They get Owen Smith. They like to line him up back there as well, lead blocking for Pat White, but that's a play they like. Show it to Steve Slayton and then follow him in the hole with Pat White.
This is a third down and goal, another big play. This West Virginia offense. Slayton looking, no, far side, kept and in for a touchdown. That is Owen Schmidt. Schmidt, the big running fullback, rambled as they had the East Carolina defense turn to the near side.
Well, you see him sneaking right out the backside underneath the formation, and he hides himself from Pierre Parker, who's got him man-to-man. Can't get there. He gets outside and outflanks the defender. And I'll tell you what, nicely thrown football with good touch by Pat White.
Had that one right on the money, and West Virginia goes up again on the 3-yard catch by Schmidt. 49-yard drive. Keep in mind that came after the interception that gave the football back to them. And it is 14-7. West Virginia goes back on top. Schmidt, the fullback receiver. For Schmidt, that is his first reception touchdown in his career to give West Virginia the 14-7 lead.
Well, he is the definition, the true definition of football player. I tell you, he blocks, he runs in the short yardage game, and then he's got good hands out of the backfield. That's a guy, in my opinion, Gary, he's going to play on Sundays. He's going to be of value to to some team on Sunday afternoons.
We see the other side of this West Virginia team. They talk about the rushing game because that's what they do primarily. But on that drive, White, the quarterback, 3 for 4, 38 yards, a couple of passes for first downs, and 1 for the touchdown. Another short kick, and that's going to be taken at the 28-yard line, hauled in by Dayton Drew.
Well, let's go back and take a look at this touchdown reception by Owen Smith. Right here you see him. He's lined up right here as the end man on the line of scrimmage. Just going to come underneath the coverage and sneak into the end zone. And Pierre Parker's got him man-to-man, but once he outflanks him right there, into the end zone, and well-timed on the part of Pat White, just sneaking underneath the formation, hiding behind all those big bodies, and he's got good soft hands for a guy with his strength and size.
East Carolina gets the football back, trailing here in the second quarter. 2 receivers to the right side, and from under center it'll be thrown incomplete. That got tipped. That is a beautiful defensive play by Eric Wicks. Let's check in. Lynn Dakota again. SportsCenter in-game update.
All right, they're dancing in the raindrops. Number 1, Ohio State and Penn State, and the Buckeyes go on top. Antonio Pittman, 12-yard touchdown run, his 4th of the year. The 9th straight game with a rushing touchdown for Ohio State, Gary.
It is amazing. You put a number in front of those teams like 24 and 1, and it gets a whole lot harder. Today, at least, the ranked teams have had a tough time of it early on. This is going to bring up a second down and 6 on the carry. The tackle made almost at the line of scrimmage. Chris Johnson had a couple of yards, tried to back up and go the other way, and is brought down maybe even for a loss here. This West Virginia defense getting some pretty good jump on that offensive line and getting into the backfield.
Well, I thought the play before, Pinckney, which the ball got tipped, he's got to use his eyes a little bit better. Just go to the flat receiver here. You see it right here. Don't stare the curl down. You got to take the defender, number 41, which the linebacker, to the flat, Eric Wicks, and then you're going to have that big throwing lane. Use your eyes as a quarterback to move the defenders where you want them to go and then come back with the football on time.
Third down and 11, 1 for 3 in third down conversions for East Carolina so far. Big rush. Gets hit, throws it, another incomplete pass. Again knocked down. This time Reed Williams, a linebacker, got his hands on it.
Oh, and I thought he had Philip Henry down the sideline for a touchdown. Kind of snuck out on a wheel route, got lost in coverage. Pinckney didn't have a whole lot of time, but right there you see him trying to go to his playmaker, Andre Allison. Oh boy, Philip Henry down the sideline was wide open.
So after he had hit the first 7, Pinckney, the quarterback, now has missed his last 3 passing, including an interception. And it's going to be a 3 and out right here. Ryan Doherty back. The kicker, who averages 40 per punt, will be standing back at his own 15-yard line. Antonio Lewis will be the deep man for West Virginia. And a booming, spiraling kick. That's going to be dropped. That was touched. That's going to be picked up by somebody. Oh, mercy, that ball just rolled and rolled. And East Carolina just missed getting that inside the 10. Unbelievable.
Jarek Hewitt wishes he'd have just jumped on the football. He had it and in the red zone. Oh, my goodness.
He will not want to watch that again. Watch how this ball gets away from Lewis, and then look at 35. If he'd fallen on it right there, it would have been East Carolina ball. He did not. It's a big-time non-fumble recovery.
ESPN2's College brought to you by Nissan, proud presenter of the 2006 Heisman. Visit theheismanvote.com to cast your vote. And Aflac, ask about it at work.
Gary Thorne, Andre Ware, Todd Harris, great to have you with us here. West Virginia's got the lead and got the football, but just barely. A 54-yard punt, and then they lost 13 more after the miff on the attempted reception. And East Carolina was that close to having that football inside the 10-yard line, but West Virginia keeps it. It is a first down and 10. West Virginia's got the football at their own 5-yard line. Steve Slayton in the backfield. Patrick White slots it to the near side. Linebackers showing rush in the gaps. It'll be carried straight ahead, trying to get some yardage, maybe a couple, and boy, was that close to a late hit. Not quite. Quentin Cotton put the hit on. Linda Cohn, our Sports Center in-game update.
Gary, after a weather delay, Tennessee off their loss to Florida a week ago, taking on Marshall, and Eric Ainge goes back to work. Play action pass, 47 yards to Jason Swain. Swain's third touchdown of the season. For Ainge, his 8th touchdown pass of the year. Volunteers up 9-0.
That's called wide open, Linda. Owen Schmidt is in the backfield. It'll be a second down and long 6 or 7, maybe 8. Looking, gonna pass in the end zone, carries to the sideline. Ooh, takes the big bump. Patrick White. The East Carolina defense got their linebackers in secondary up there in a hurry.
And I think that's what they've got to do. They've got to crowd the line of scrimmage, 7, 8-man fronts, and then place some man-to-man in the secondary and just try to match up. They like their corners, Casey Ross as well as Travis Williams. Lock them up in man-to-man coverage, get an extra guy in the box, and force West Virginia into passing situations. This is where you want to keep them. 3rd down and long.
This East Carolina defense has done a heck of a job so far in this first half. 1 for 3 third down conversions, West Virginia. They've got a 3rd down here. 3rd down and 8. Flag is down. Looking deep over the middle. That's going to be caught. If it's good, it's going to be a first down up to the 30-yard line. Darius Renard, we got to see what the flag is. Pierre Parker put the hit on. The 23-yard gain.
He worked really, really hard at becoming a polished passer in the offseason, and I'll tell you.
Offsides on the defense. Number 53. Penalties decline. First down.
Now you talk about locking up. Well, if you're going to lock up and you're going to do that and keep 7, 8 guys, guess what? Get a little closer to the wide receivers, and you can't let them come that wide open. Pat White, he's proving now why West Virginia is so explosive. They can soften you up with a passing game, and we know what they can do running the football.
They've gained only 54 yards running. Slayton on the carry. Line of scrimmage, gets over it, but only by a couple. This is the #1 rushing offense, 349 yards a game. They are up to 57 yards, and they've had in 16 rushes, 6 of the 16 rushes have been for 2 or fewer yards.
Yeah, I mean, they're just explosive in the run game, and they pretty much have their way with people running the football. It's amazing.
Last year, this East Carolina team held this Mountaineers to 127 yards rushing. East Carolina is trying to put up something like that again. And it is a second down. Again, they come to the flats. And that's going to be brought up to the 45. That is Darius Renard. Renard's finding some room. He gets a 12-yard gain on another first down.
Well, you talked about just 54 yards rushing, but they've gone 6 consecutive games of 300 or more yards, and that's dating back to last season right there at the Sugar Bowl with Georgia. 382 against a good Georgia football team, but out of the gate 340, 392, and 314. That is amazing.
Renard's had 3 receptions, 37 yards. West Virginia showing their passing game here. They're ahead 14-7. Again, they come to the near side. Slayton, who can burst. He's going to get it down to the 40-yard line. Pierre Bell makes the tackle, but it is another first down for West Virginia.
Yeah, and they need to get a stop here if you're East Carolina, because they're not real deep defensively. Defensive players now starting to get a little winded. You see guys trotting off Pierre Bell there, but they're not very deep along that defensive front. Linebackers and the third layer secondary-wise, they've got to get a stop here.
That was a 14-yard gain. Patrick White looking over. He will come up under center. Now West Virginia's gone to the same kind of late call offense as they come to the line and then look over to the sideline. This is the option play, and that will be taken to the line of scrimmage by Owen Schmidt, and not much more. Stop for no gain. It'll bring up second. Let's check in again with Todd Harris. Todd.
Well, Gary and Andre, during that last change of possession, the focus of the defensive coordinator's ire was really focused on the linebacker core. And Andre will have to translate this for the rest of America, but they're saying make sure you're manning your foxholes, your responsibilities. They were very pleased with the fact that they're getting them to third downs, but he said at third down, we got to make some plays. So, Andre, what's the foxhole terminology terminology.
Well, that means if you're in the A gap, B gap, or C gap in a formation defensively, you stay there. Don't try to do anything outside of your job because you get out of position and then another guy's got to cover for you. He gets out of position. In West Virginia, they make you pay.
2nd and 9. That's completed to the 30. That's going to be another first down. Driven out of bounds is Jeremy Bruce, a sophomore, 12-yard gain. That is his first reception. We have had 6 receivers in this game for West Virginia who are so far have caught a pass here in this first half.
Yeah, Greg Hudson, he's the guy we talked to, said, you know, we have a saying around here, man your foxhole, which Todd talked about, but you got to stay in your lanes, in your gaps. Do not abandon them and believe and trust in the guys around you and the system, because if you move one spot too many, they will hit you for the
White on the carry. He's got it up 25. Flag is down. He'll take it up to the 15-yard line. Patrick White on the option play again. He is 8 for 9 passing with 92 yards. That is an extraordinary first half of passing for White on a team that just doesn't do very much of that so far. And I got to believe they're kind of happy they get a chance to show and practice their passing game right here.
What's in that area of holding the first flag, and then there's one that's going to be a face mask penalty as well.
On the offense, number 76. Face mask. On the defense, number 1. Penalties offset. Replay first down.
It's a break either way for East Carolina. West Virginia kind of comes out on the short end of that because that's a tremendous run. But you talk about a complete football player or quarterback. Pat White does it. The play before, the big pass that he had, way from one hash to the other flat on the other side of the field. That's arm strength right there. And then he's hit a few in routes to go along with it. He can make all the throws.
He was a 4th-round pick of the Anaheim Angels of Los Angeles, a pitcher and an outfielder who chose to go to college and play football. And at West Virginia, they're mighty happy. Patrick White, again, the late audible calls coming from the sideline here. 2 receivers to the wide side. They'll go to the other way. Slayton. He'll be tackled at the gain of maybe a yard. Pierre Parker. Pierre Bell and Pierre Parker, a linebacker and a safety, clearly are keying on Slayton. They're there every time he touches the football.
Well, they try to go misdirection here. They're going to show the run this way and then flip it back out here to Steve Slayton. Right there, just a little flip, but good job right here. Open field tackling is what East Carolina has to do. And Pierre Parker right there with Steve Slayton, and that's a tough task to do when you're one-on-one with a frightening runner like Steve Slayton.
Owen Schmidt comes into the backfield. It is a 2nd down and at 9. West Virginia moving the football here against East Carolina. White's going to carry. 25, 20. And down he goes for another first down to the 22. Fred Wilson, the linebacker, on the hit on White.
Well, this is just a straight quarterback run right here for Pat White, and they like to mix it up. They start you thinking about Steve Slayton or Owen Smith, and right there, they get you behind the big fullback, Owen Smith. You see him right there blocking for his quarterback, and he's got 4.4 speed like Steve Slayton. 2 tremendous athletes in the backfield.
White averages 52 yards a game in the rush department. He got 11 yards on that one. It is another first down for West Virginia. They threaten again. And this time it's going to be thrown for a loss back to the 20-yard line. Steve Slayton. So East Carolina twice in this first half has been able to get Slayton in the backfield.
Well, you're not going to stop Steve Slayton, but they've certainly corralled him most of this first half. Now the other guy that's killing you, Pat White, and when you can stop him from running as well, then he's beating you with his arm. You got to stay one move ahead of West Virginia if you're Greg Hudson, the defensive coordinator for East Carolina.
West Virginia with a 14-7 lead, 2nd down and 13 now. Patrick White, a passing down. They slot it to the wide side. He's still got the football. He's got room. Comes back into the middle. It'll be taken inside the 10 to the 7-yard line. They're called a misdirection offense, a 12-yard gain, and boy, you can see why that's called that.
Well, they get you flowing one way, and that's why teams or coaches that talk about them say you got to defend the entire field, front side and back side, because Pat White rolling to his left, away from the formation, throwing back, and it looked like a little middle screen, drawing everybody to him. I'm going to take a guy, the end man, one-on-one, just me. I'm fast enough where he won't get to me, and then I got enough arm strength, just flip it back in the middle of the field.
That was Wes Lyons, who just came into the game, who made that reception. His first. 3rd down and 2 inside the 10-yard line. Again, White looking to the end zone. It is intercepted by East Carolina. Jamar Flournoy comes away with the interception.
Well, we talked to him yesterday, and he was about as excited. He said, I started getting fired up for this game on Wednesday in class. And you like to see guys that work hard be rewarded. He was moved to free safety from the linebacker position. He's a big physical guy, but you see him right there in the middle of the field. He bites, but he's able to get back and then make up for it and come away with an interception. Big time play for East Carolina.
ECU leads the nation now. They've got 12 forced turnovers and an 88-yard drive for West Virginia comes up 0. For Jamar Flournoy, his first career interception.
Boy, I tell you, he did a heck of a job because he bit a little bit on the play fake. We'll take a look at it. You see him right here in the middle of the field, and he's going to bite on the play fake of Pat White. Comes up a little bit, but he's able to get himself back into position. And that's just one athletic play right there on the part of Jamar Flournoy. Recovered, he knew he was beaten. All of a sudden, he saw him pull it out, and right there, athletic play. And helping his football team.
What a big play to end an 88-yard drive. 6 interception the team has had. East Carolina gets it back. 2:15 left to go here in the first half. They are down by a touchdown. There's the draw play, and that's not going to go anywhere. Chris Johnson on the carry. Let's check in again with Linda Cohn. Linda.
Gary, coming up at half, why the Buckeyes bring out the best in Penn State. Where do you see the highlights from Georgia's big last-minute win against Colorado and all the action from the Ryder Cup? Plus, Skip's dad, Lou Holtz, will join me at the half here in college football's Nerve Center. Back to you.
All right, Linda, thanks very much. Upcoming big day, obviously, college football these Saturdays where the games get tougher as you roll along. It is a 2nd down, and 11 looking over the middle got hit, and that's going to be incomplete. He got nailed as he was throwing that football by John Holmes, who came in from a strong safety on the blitz.
Boy, I am convinced that East Carolina can formation West Virginia into what they want to run. And I'm telling you, Philip Henry has been open the last 2 times because they try to walk the free safety in, Charles Pugh, the strong safety, inside to help in the run game, and he's sitting out there wide open. Just raise up, give him the football. He picked up a big first down for you early in this game. Go back to him. There he is right there, wide open.
Pinckney has missed his last 4 attempts. 3rd down and 11 here. Pinckney back. He's got time, and that's going to be almost intercepted. No, incomplete. That was close, and boy, had Charles Pugh been able to hang on to that, he could have gone to the end zone on a walk. Philip Henry, the intended receiver.
Well, I'm telling you, James Pinckney is kind of telegraphing everything. He almost comes up with a heck of a reception off the deflection, but James Pinckney telegraphing everything with his eyes. He's picking one receiver, staying there, and then all of a sudden you're giving defensive backs time to break on the football. Use your eyes to help you get guys open, not to draw defenders to them.
So once again, the East Carolina defense does its part, but the offense does not. And they're going to have to kick it away here. And it'll come from the 15-yard line. Doherty on the boot. That'll take a roll. It'll take an East Carolina roll and roll and roll. All the way down to the 14-yard line.
Was it a sweet roll, though?
Yeah, it was. And it had a couple of pecans in it, or pecans, depends on where you're from. All right, we'll be back. It's the Aflac trivia question. When was the last time East Carolina beat a top 10 team? The answer, that'll be coming up when we come back.
Wesley Cook has stuttered his entire life. But a revolutionary device created at a North Carolina university stopped that the very first time he used it.
My name is Wesley Cook.
Where did Wesley go to find this miraculous new start in life? The same place you can find yours. East Carolina University. Tomorrow
starts here.
These are the faces that look up to you. You, the fans. The people who pack the stands week after week. So before you walk through the stadium gates or see the first fan from the other team, ask yourself one question. Are you setting a good example for the next generation? Make sportsmanship your best play of the game and make it a great day for NCAA football.
All right, we are back. Oh, duck. The answer to our Aflac trivia question, the last time East Carolina beat a top 10 team? Well, it was number 9 Miami, 27-20, September of 99, right here it was rather at Carter Finley Stadium. And you can see NC State. And can they do it again? Can they come away with a victory here against West Virginia?
I tell you, they've had their opportunities to really make some big plays and be in this football game even more so than they are. Just coming up a little short right now.
Offense has got to find a way to be able to move the football. Patrick White on the handoff, 25. Slayton gets away. Slayton turns it back to the 25 again, and then gets hit high and low with Casey Ross after an 11-yard gain.
I want to know who the coach was that said or questioned whether or not he had shake. You know, he's got plenty. And he's got speed to go. They said, well, we know he's fast, but does he have enough shake to make guys miss? I think he's answered you, whoever the coach is who questioned it.
43 seconds left to go in the half. White looking deep. The bomb at the 40 is incomplete. Almost intercepted. That was just a battle up in the air. Rayshon Bolden, the intended receiver, battling Casey Ross.
Casey Ross right there. Good position, going up, fading away, and still almost comes up with a big-time interception. I think if he stays right there, he fades away from it just a little bit, which takes him away from the football, but battling a much taller receiver in Rayshon Bolden, 6'5" against 6 foot. Tell you what, just box him out. That's what the basketball players do. Just box him out.
Second down and 10. Let's see if Patrick White and West Virginia wants to go for the bomb again. 2 receivers to the near side. Looking on the short past the screen. Let Slayton run it. And a big-time hit at the line of scrimmage by Mark Robinson, a defensive tackle. Another one-on-one hit.
Greg Hudson, the defensive coordinator, talked about Mark Robinson. Watch this look. Well, that's a big-time kiss, isn't it?
Whoa.
I mean, helmet to chin strap right there. He's a good player, though. When they run gassers every Sunday and Tuesday, he's the guy that leads the group. He's the best player up front for East Carolina defensively. But you talk about a guy, big guy, 6'3", 286, in great shape.
They're going to use a timeout here. Each team's got a couple. Want to remind you, tonight football features 2 fantastic regional matchups. Most of you are going to see Brady Quinn, number 12 Notre Dame, try and bounce back from their loss. Michigan State the opponent. Number 3 USC will take on Arizona. On the West Coast, you can catch Notre Dame Michigan State on ESPN2.
That'll be a good one. And 2 good quarterbacks in that football game. Brady Quinn, much talked about, and then Drew Stanton. Take a look later in this. I'll give you my top 5 Heisman list. You might be surprised at who I have on it in that football game.
One of those guys.
One of those 2.
But not the one you'd expect.
But maybe not the one you expect.
Such a tease. 27 seconds remaining in the first half. 14-7. West Virginia on top. And this number 2 scoring offense, Louisville's number 1, being held here in the respect for Pirate Nation growing if their offense.
I am not going to look. I am not going to look real little.
Outstanding. 27 seconds left to go. Third down and 7. West Virginia 2 out of 5 in third down conversions. They came in 19 out of 31 on the season. Patrick White out of the shotgun, no running back, will carry himself up to the 30 and will get a first down. So White gets it done, and he'll have a 9-yard gain. Fred Wilson, the linebacker, on the hit.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Boy, the speed is just frightening. I mean, they've got enough talent at receiver to spread you out, and then all of a sudden, that offensive line is going to create some gaps for Slayton to run through as well as White. And when they hit it, it is unbelievable how fast they get to the hole, get to the next level, and you better bring your hat and make sure you wrap him up because he can sliver out of it, and then you're chasing from behind.
West Virginia's going for a score here. They use another timeout. They've got 1 left. You can see why in the offseason, West Virginia had 30 Division I staffs represented in West Virginia to learn more about their offense. 30 Division I schools came and said, how are you doing this?
And I asked him, I said, where's the fine line when you don't want to give up too much and then you want to help out a little bit? He said, you know what, there is a fine line. We don't give up everything. Especially when coaches say, well, how would you defend yourself? You got to be an idiot for somebody to answer that question. How do you stop yourself? I don't think Rich Rodriguez knows how to stop that mad lab that he's created up there in Morgantown, West Virginia. Virginia.
You know you've got to have the players in order to make it work, and that's exactly what this team believes they have with White at quarterback, pass and run, and we've seen him pass today more than he has in any other game. He only had 27 passes in the first 3 games, so the interception you saw him throw was the first time he's been intercepted this season. But he's put the ball in the air successfully, 10 out of 13 with a TD. West Virginia, 208 total yards here in this first half, and they are not done yet. Still 20 seconds left to go, and they have a timeout. White trying to get in field goal range or go for the bomb. Down the sideline, it's a fly at the 20. It is going to be incomplete. Incomplete all the way down to the 10-yard line. Brandon Miles and Travis Williams, the cornerback, battling.
Boy, I tell you, just great coverage outside by Travis Williams and almost coming up with another interception. But if Pat White is able to fade his receiver, he gave him the 4 yards that I've always talked about. When running that route, you want to give your quarterback about a 4-yard cushion from the sideline to fade him away from the defender. If he throws it just a little bit outside, we may watch Brandon Miles gets kind of sashay into the end zone.
See why he's called a big play player. Brandon Miles, number 7. He has outstanding speed. This West Virginia team, virtually every player either side of the football, speed's the name of the game. 2nd down and 10. Back again. This one's going to be caught over the middle. Renaud, and he'll run that one out of bounds at midfield. Darius Renaud on the reception. Still 7 seconds remaining. A 13-yard gain.
Well, he's one of those guys kind of in a running back body, 5'10", 205, and they move him to slot receiver. And boy, is he effective. You talk about a player that can really make plays after the catch and with speed and acceleration. You talk speed everywhere, and he's one of those guys.
You're going to kick the football here. Their place kicker, 45 yards is the longest field goal made. There's only 7 seconds left on the clock. The ball is at midfield on the first down. Looking, they're going to go for the bomb to the corner. Inside the 10, push and shove, and a flag goes down. It is intercepted by Casey Ross. And I think there was probably offensive interference there, but we'll wait and see as time has expired here in the first half.
Well, you cannot fault the effort on the part of East Carolina in this football game. Lucky right now because they've had some huge breaks that should have gone their way that didn't, but they are right here tooth and nail. This is going to be one heck of a second half of football.
Both teams are staying on the field here even though time's expired. They want to make sure they know what the call is. And there it is. It is the offensive interference call, so that's going to end the first half.
You see the receiver here, number 9, Dwayne Thompson, working against Casey Ross, who has great position on a larger receiver, and right there just pushing him in the back, trying to get himself open or get to the football. Casey Ross, excellent coverage.
And this is going to be the lowest scoring first half by far that West Virginia has had this season. They've got a 14-7 lead. Let's get on to Todd.
Coach, up 14-7. How do you address the success that East Carolina is having in the passing game in the second half?
Well, our defense made some nice adjustments in the last couple of series. We're just not executing very well on either phase. Our punt return is not executing well. We just got to make some corrections at halftime, come out and play hard because it's going to be a 60-minute game.
What do you tell your young quarterback at the half?
Well, just relax. I mean, he's doing okay. Had made one bad decision there at the end. We just got to play our style of football, keep our composure, and play ball.
Great. Thanks, Coach.
Rich Rodriguez, who himself played at West Virginia, where he was a 3-year defensive back, takes his team off with a lead, but he knows he's in a football game. 14-7. Let's go to Linda Cohn, College Football Halftime Report.
All right, Gary. Yeah, this is College Football Nerve Center here, and I got
12 hours.
All right, listen up. I know how much you love to play, compete, and win. But being a team is more than that. It's about dedication to excellence, a commitment to your school, your community, and each other, so you can go out and play the greatest game of your life. But only as a team can you truly be great. Be that team today.
And we welcome you back to East Carolina, everybody. Gary Thorne, Andre Ware with you. It was Patrick White, a 5-yard pass opening up the scoring. West Virginia. Andre Allison on the pass from Pinckney to tie it, and then Smith 3-yard run to take it in. Now what?
Well, I think East Carolina, they've got to run the football. They may have to pass to soften this West Virginia defense up and to enable themselves to run it. Time of possession as well, and then convert on third downs.
And it'll be West Virginia getting the football first. That'll be taken in the end zone where it will be downed. And it'll be a first down and 10 for West Virginia. The time of possession is already 5 minutes in favor of West Virginia. That's why the East Carolina offense has got to get something going to turn that around. But the defense has certainly done a job. West Virginia's gained 102 yards rushing. But for a team that averages 349 a game, that's not so bad.
No, sometimes the best defense is to just keep them off the field. And offensively, you're talking about a defense that's played a lot of plays for East Carolina. They needed to spell them a little bit. So keep the football offensively. Long drives is what they need.
Patrick White has rushed 7 times for 31 yards. The quarterback, there he is on the carry, and he gets hit at the line of scrimmage and maybe even a little bit behind it. Let's get an update from Todd Harris. Todd.
Well, Gary, had I not known that Andre Ware was up there having a hot dog during halftime, I would have thought he was in the locker room of the East Carolina Pirates. He's exactly right. Coach Skip Holtz told me they've got to get in some kind of rhythm, spell their defense. He said, we've had some good drives, but too many 3-and-outs. We've got to get in a rhythm, get some kind of execution going with run and pass to keep this powerful West Virginia offense off the field.
What are you talking about? I had a salad at halftime.
That's right. I can vouch for that. Even had fruit. Disgusting. All right, White goes back into the shotgun. It is going to be a second down and 10. No gain on that last one. This is the end around again. And East Carolina 30 can't stop him before he gets the first down. Renard again. Darius Renard, second time they have run that. That's good for 11 yards and a first.
All right, we talked about him. He's got that running back type stature, just built just like a running back. So when he gets the football, I mean, in open space, speed to go with it, power to break tackles, and he's dangerous on that little play. You mentioned the second time we've seen it in this ball game.
He gained 11 on the first one. He gets about the same on that one, and he gets the first down. You see the time of possession there. That happens when you're playing West Virginia because they run the football so often. Although in the first 4 games, this is the fewest amount of rushing yards. Slayton on the carry. They've been on him all day. The third time he's been thrown for a loss. Pierre Parker. So the defense continues to slow down with the nation's outstanding runners, Steve Slayton.
Like bees on honey right here. I mean, a bunch of guys, bunch of purple helmets showing up. Fred Wilson as well, Pierre Bell, all those guys. You need to tackle Steve Slayton in bunches, and they're doing that. Greg Hudson doing a good job defensively in this football game of calling a fabulous game against one of the nation's most high-powered offenses.
Slayton has 23 rushing touchdowns in the last 10 games. He has not been close in that regard so far in this game. And there's Slayton again. And Slayton gets it up to the 40. Slayton's got the first down. And Slayton, wow, with helmets and mouthpieces flying all over the place. Flags go down, too. There has been a lot of chatter going on. Quentin Cotton put the hit on. A lot of chatter between these two teams. The officials have been charging to wherever the ball is down to get between players because there's some real heat going on out there right now in the field.
Well, just a little bit extra.
Personal foul. Late hit. Number 50. On the defense. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. Automatic. First down.
Boy, he picks up a heck of a block by his tight end, Michael Villagrana, on the end there, and then Quentin Cotton just not playing past the whistle right here. You see number 88. Watch that seal block right there, which enables Steve Slayton to get outside. And boy, it's just speed right here. And what goes understated is his ability to break tackles. And here's the penalty. You hear the whistle, and then still continue to drive him out. I don't know. That's kind of picky right there.
Yep.
He didn't take him down.
No, he didn't take him down. That's more of a makeup here to try and keep things under control. It is a first down and 10. Again, West Virginia on the offense. That is Slayton's longest run, 16 yards, and the 15-yard penalty tacked on. Owen Schmidt on the carry. He had a couple of carries, 6 yards and a touchdown for the big fullback for West Virginia in that first half. He'll gain another 5.
That's a body. 6'3", 250, runs 4.6 in the 40. Gary, check this one out. Power cleans. Actually told me yesterday, correct me, hang cleans, 435, 18 reps.
Challenge him?
Unbelievable. Unreal. Unreal.
He is. Patrick White, I mean, he is a tank out there. Just underway here in the third quarter. West Virginia, the number 4 ranked team in the nation, in a battle here. Back to pass. They drop that one off to Slayton. 30, 25, 20. Well over the first down yardage needed. He will take that one up to the 18-yard line. A 14-yard gain. Steve Slayton. And this offense is rolling.
And still too many plays for East Carolina defensively. C.J. Wilson, big defensive lineman down the field making the tackle, but boy, they are coming at you in a bunch of different ways. They run Slayton, they run that the little zone play, they pull it with Pat White, and then dumping it off to Slayton in space is even more dangerous.
11:33 left to go here in the third. West Virginia, another first down. Slayton again, and a whistle blew on that one right after the ball was hiked. Well, we'll see what the call is here. If there's been one break for East Carolina, it haven't been many. It's been the West Virginia penalties and when they've occurred in this game.
And a couple of gifts and turnovers as well that's really saved East Carolina.
It was an inadvertent whistle from the stands. We'll replay first down.
That'll help them too.
Please keep the whistle in your pocket. Thank you.
That's sad, as the whistle did not occur on the field. Oh, they asked the fans, and that could have been either Pirates or somebody else who did that. This is going to bring up another first down right where it was, a first down and 10. And again, see what they go with this time with Patrick White in that shotgun. He's got Owen Schmidt, the big running back, next to him there. 4 receivers are out. Schmidt up the middle on the carry, and he's not going to go anywhere in the first effort. The second one, though, will gain about 3. Let's check in with Todd Harris. Todd?
Well, I'm not going to throw anyone under the bus here because the folks here in Greenville are real nice, but on the right end zone, it's standing room only. I don't even think you need a ticket to get in there. It's just a big open area, and I don't even know if it's an inverted whistle or someone out there because the kids are throwing football and tailgating, but the defensive backfield for East Carolina, they stopped. They thought it was whistle on the field, and the referees were asking each other, did you blow the whistle? So they just called the play dead and started from scratch.
That's a good catch by the officials.
Yeah. Second down and 7. West Virginia balanced attack, 137 yards rushing, 134 passing. Unheard of in their first 3 games of the season, but they all won by wide margin. And not going to go far this time. Patrick White on the carry. That is Dontre Brown, a defensive tackle senior, on the hit.
Man, I had a chance to talk to Pat White yesterday, and he said he ran an offense that was very similar to this one in high school. But look at all the purple shirts there. They like to line him up and just follow Owen Schmidt into the hole. And I'll tell you what, this East Carolina defense, you have to take your hat off to him. Dontre Brown, big guy out of Fayetteville, North Carolina on that play. They are playing their hearts out.
And another big play, a third down and 7. West Virginia 3 out of 6 on third down conversions in the first half. Third and 7 here. 2 receivers to the near side. Patrick White over on the flats, caught at the 10. And the tackle made, I think, shy of the first down on Rayshawn Bolden. It'll depend on the spot. Pierre Bell put the hit on Bolden.
I think it's going to be about half a yard short, but you see just quick right here. They like to roll him. They'll set him in the pocket every once in a while, but he's more effective when he can roll and throw the football on the move. Right there, just gets it out at north and south, and I think it may be just short.
There's a big man down for West Virginia in the end zone. Renard, their wide receiver and their leading receiver, was running a route in the end zone, and he is down on the field.
That looks like it's cramps. They're stretching him out. It just looks to be cramps.
That's how much shy they are. It'll bring up a fourth down and that much for the first down with the ball at the 8-yard line. And
that's
there
the
is
posture.
Renard.
That's that cramp posture right there. Know it all too well.
It is hot here today. The temperature on the field when we started was over 90. The field is for the most part now in shade, so it'll be a little cooler than it was in the first half, but a warm, humid day.
Yeah, Renard's going to be in the slot right here, and he's going to pull up just a little bit lame in this route. You see him right here trying to work himself open, and I'll tell you what, just pulls up. The cramps catch him. You see him there limping a little bit in the back in the end zone. Finally, so bad he's got to go ahead and take a seat. They're still working on it.
West Virginia came out ready to try the field goal, and obviously they can't do that with Renard still down in the end zone, so they're going to have to wait on it. Pat McAfee has come out. He's 2 for 3 in field goal attempts for West Virginia, but right now they can't move Renard.
Oh, that's a Painful, painful deal when that happens to you as a player. There's nothing you can really do other than try to get to the sideline and get as much liquid, water, Gatorade, whatever you can get inside you as fast as possible. And then when that doesn't work, they take you in and hook you up to an IV and try to get fluids in you.
Talking about the great receiver that he is, he had a 95-yard kickoff return for a touchdown against Maryland last week, and he was voted the conference special teams player of the week because of it. Want to remind you that coming up, an impressive list Saturday: Tennessee, Chris Leak, number 5 Gators, Kentucky Wildcats, college football primetime ESPN Saturday night 7:45 Eastern. And remember, all college football games on ESPN, ESPN2 are available in high definition.
Chris Leak has figured out Urban Meyer's offense down there and got Florida ranked in the top 5 now and rolling.
They are the number 5 team. The number 4 team is on the field here from West Virginia. And Darius Renard, obviously, really cramped up. A very slow walk to the other side. They've had the mist machines on all afternoon.
Yeah, but when that old body gets low on fluids, there's nothing a mist machine can do.
Can't suck in enough of it.
Nope.
A lot of West Virginia fans. They were expecting 5,000 to 7,000 fans from West Virginia to be here for this game in East Carolina. They got a big house of some 43,000 on hand for this game. Renard out of there, 4 catches, 50 yards, and 2 runs for 23 yards. We'll see if he gets back in. Pat McAfee, his longest, a 29-yarder, comes out on the field goal attempt on this 4th down short yardage situation. 26-yard attempt. It is up, and it is good. So McAfee delivers with the 3-pointer in the first possession for West Virginia in the second half, and the Mountaineers extend their lead 17-7. East Carolina football dating back to 1932. This used to be a women's teachers college originally when it was founded. Now a great institution with thousands of students, a great medical center here. Right now they are trailing West Virginia 17-7. North Carolina, the Wall Street Journal had an interesting positive. They were rated as the most underranked college for NFL players in the country. Wow. That more of their draft picks do better by number and by success than any other school. It's not that they have the most, just success. East Carolina, which was really surprising. That ball is going to be handled at the 1-yard line, up to the 10, the 15. East Carolina gets it out to the 22 in the person of Jarek Hewitt, who brings it out. And now we'll check in with someone who's not overrated and not underrated either. Linda Cohen, SportsCenter in game.
Thank you, Gary. What a finish between Ohio State and Penn State. It was a 14-6 game with just under 3 to go. Anthony Morelli gets picked off by Malcolm Jenkins. And then Antonio Smith added another interception return for a touchdown for the number 1 Buckeyes, who cruise from there. Poor Anthony Morelli, but the Buckeyes win.
Who said they couldn't play defense?
You got to play the whole football game, no matter how it starts and how it ends, right?
That's right.
Fractious is in the backfield here, going to the air, and he turned around. Allison, after the ball had already been thrown. Allison was not looking on the pass from James Pinckney.
No, he pretty much given up on his quarterback, couldn't get inside position. He was trying to get a curl route, run inside, and when he didn't get the position, he just, you know, sometimes if the defender's inside, I'm going to hit you on your outside shoulder. Don't give up on the route. Well, that's when you earn it, is when you got to come open. Anybody, it's easy when you're wide open.
Yeah. That is going to bring up second down. 0 for 6 in his last 6 attempts. Pinckney at quarterback out of the shotgun. 5 receivers, nobody in the backfield with him. Looking at that 3-3 defense over the middle. Caught 35, 40-yard line to the 42. That is Kevin Roach, a senior. It'll be his 8th completion caught this year.
Well, his read here is the area outside defender right here. When he takes a step out here, he's going to come into the center of the formation. And Pinckney finally, with his eyes, takes him there, right there, and then in behind him. Nice job. Watch the eyes of James Pinckney right here, taking the defenders where he wants to go and then coming inside to Kevin Roach with the football. Excellent job of playing quarterback on that play.
Pinckney in his 29th consecutive start for the Pirates. On the snap, they want to run the reverse, maybe a flea flicker. Going to try and turn the corner, nowhere to go. Not going to get back to the line of scrimmage. That is wide receiver Philip Henry taken for a loss.
You know, when you run plays like that, it just, you know, start the trickery and all that stuff. That means that you don't really feel like you're good enough to execute what you do offensively. They've had some success in the pass game. Stay with that. Soften them up, move them out, spread them in the formations you want them. Then you can gash Chris Johnson every once in a while. Get away from the trickery, the reverses, because they're too fast on defense, West Virginia.
East Carolina, you saw 1 yard rushing. West Virginia, 137. Second down and 11. 5 receivers. Roach came in. Tito Gonzalez, another wide receiver, is in. That snap, he had to go reach for one. Open. Into West Virginia territory and a first down. And that is Philip Henry, who just got caught on the run. Pinckney finds him for 17.
Well, he's open in the slot, and I'll tell you, Charles Pugh's trying to play inside of him and protect against the run and then drop in pass coverage. The deal there, though, Gary, is Philip Henry's able to get by him initially off the line because there's nobody there to disrupt his pass route. So he gets free and is going to come right there. You see Philip Henry right there getting behind Charles Pugh into the soft spot of the defense, and a good job of finding him by his quarterback.
He was their leading receiver in the first half. He caught 3 for 22 yards.
Boy, you want to run zone, guess what? You're going to have guys with free releases, and somebody's going to come wide open for you.
They didn't want to use that timeout, but East Carolina could not get their play set, and the play clock was running down, so they had to use a timeout here with 7:31 left to go in the third quarter. We're in East Carolina, where the number 4 Mountaineers of West Virginia lead it 17-7.
ESPN2's College Football Primetime, brought to you by the 200 horsepower Volkswagen GTI. Make friends with your fast.
East Carolina has moved into West Virginia territory for only the second time today. The other came in the first quarter when they had their touchdown drive. And let's see if they can make use of this one. Brandon Fractious has come back into the backfield. James Pinckney again out of the shotgun. 3 receivers near side. They fake the flats, look deep. They're trying for the end zone. The long bomb is going to be incomplete. They could not get their receiver behind the defense. Incomplete. Let's check it again. Linda Cohn, a SportsCenter in-game update.
Have you checked the weather report in Austin? Well, right now it looks pretty ugly. In fact, lightning strikes Austin. That's why Texas and Iowa State, the game has been delayed. They hope to pick it up again soon. 1 quarter left to go. It's 37-14 Texas.
Nice show, but you don't want to be out in it.
No. Let's go to the house when it gets that close.
Texas putting up the big numbers. Second down and 10 on the incompletion. They've gone to this passing game. Now they've got 3 receivers near side. No running back over the middle. Incomplete. Allison, the intended. Fans thought there was almost a late hit, and there almost was, but Quentin Andrews never got a piece of the receiver. Tried to after the ball had gone by, but missed him.
Yeah, third down now, and you talk about, Todd talked a little bit about James Pinckney being in this system for the second consecutive year. And when you talk to Skip Holtz about him, he said, you know, he was learning what to do last year. Now he knows how to do it, which he's really grown in this offense and knows where to go with the football.
1 for 5, third down conversions. Here comes another one. A third down and 10.
Well, Philip Henry's wide open again.
Pinckney again. Plenty of time over the middle. It is caught for a first down and loads a couple of defenders. Kevin Roach, all of a sudden, is finding the football. Eric Weeks get carried for a couple of yards.
Well, I tell you, they're trying to play outside position and sneak out there, and the slot receivers, Kevin Roach as well as Philip Henry, are going to come wide open. You see the slant route here, giving an outside move and back inside. And you see the uncovered guy here in Philip Henry. It's dealer's choice on this play. Wherever you're going to go with the football, there. Now Kevin Roach comes open for you. Big-time delivery from his quarterback.
A first down and 10. Fractious again in the backfield. They're going to run the screen play this time. No blocking out in front. Maybe a yard gained by Andre Allison. They wanted to get in football and let him try and run with it.
I tell you, we used to call this on-air shots, Gary, and I probably threw for half my yard just hitting on-air shots. Look at this. I hate to beat a dead drum, but the linebacker's way in here. Philip Henry, just give him the football. It's better than any run that you can try to draw up, raise up, give him the football, and let him make a play. It's a given 5 to 7 yards.
Yeah,
he's out there again wide open.
It's 5 yards when he catches the football.
There's a linebacker inside.
It's 2nd down and 9. Pinckney will step up, doesn't see the rush from behind, avoids it, fumbles the football! Fumbled the football, and I think West Virginia got it. They did. Pinckney on the carry, close to a 1st down, coughs it up. And West Virginia takes over, and flags are flying.
And I think West Virginia is going to get a free 15 yards, unsportsmanlike conduct, and it looks like it's going to be on Matt Butler, the left guard, number 68, mixing it up inside. But you see here, just trying to, second effort, right here going down, protect the football, and I'll tell you what a heck of a play by Reed Williams to kind of stick his arm in there right behind Chasen, gets a hand on the football.
Dead ball, personal foul, West Virginia, number 96. Dead ball, personal foul, East Carolina, 76. Penalties.
Keelan
First and 10 for West Virginia.
Of West Virginia,
Yeah.
Josh Kottman of East Carolina. Charles Pugh, though, made the big play. He came up with the recovery. So they are offsetting personal fouls that were committed after the ball was dead. A big turnover. West Virginia gets the football back.
And here are the penalties right here. Down in the bottom, you see Matt Butler right there grabbing people. Clean Dykes retaliates. He gets a flag, and they called Josh Kaufman, but it was not Josh Kaufman. It was Matt Butler.
It was Matt Butler. West Virginia, deep in their own territory, takes over. They're at the 12-yard line, where they get the 1st down and a 10. Looking for a little running room here. Boy, there are some late hits again. No flag. Quentin Cotton came in and put the hit on, but both of these teams, but especially East Carolina, has got to be careful about late penalties.
And you're right, but I'll tell you what, they are rallying to the football, and, you know, it's guys that want to get a piece of Slayton and White, but they got to get there in a timely manner and before the whistle goes off. And I'll tell you what, Greg Hudson has a good design defensively for this West Virginia offense, and he's making them work for every yard.
That is Quentin Cotton, number 50, their leading tackler, the outside linebacker, just barely able to stay up here. Over the rush, it is incomplete. That ball would have been caught, I think, by Jeremy Bruce, but for the defense of Kyle Chase, who reached in and pulled it out.
Right, and as well, Fred Wilson, a big middle linebacker, JC transfer. You see him right there in the middle of your screen, gets a nice big paw on it, and cleaning it up is Kyle Chase at the end of this play. But that play was made by the big linebacker, reading the eyes of the quarterback, Fred Wilson.
Now that is Fred Wilson right there going to the sideline. Another big 3rd down play, 3rd down and 8. West Virginia 3 out of 7 in conversions, and another penalty being marked off.
Wow. I mean, they don't need freebies. You just had a big play on 2nd down, and no explanation for this one from the officials.
I don't know. It is a 1st down. That was a penalty called there against East Carolina. And they mark it off, and it's a 1st down at the 27-yard line. And there goes another flag. On the play before, I do not know what it was, but it must have been a personal foul.
Certainly they didn't rule it a catch, so.
No.
Snap. False on the offense. Number 28, 5-yard penalty, remains 1st down.
We understand on the play before this, the penalty was called for roughing the passer.
Yeah, we got no explanation here, but you see right there, Pat White.
Who roughed the passer?
I mean, where did it come from? Scotty Robinson was just in a pass rush.
Didn't even touch him.
And he pushed his own offensive lineman into Pat White. I can't for the life of me think that he called that a roughing the passer.
That's where the flag went down, but sure didn't look like it. This one's going to be carried, and he'll bring it up to the 32-yard line. Again, the quarterback, Patrick White. There goes another flag. This is in the defensive backfield. We told you this is really heated up, and the animosities are real and alive out there in the field. Now you see the guys trying to settle themselves down.
Dead ball. Personal foul. On the defense. Number 8. Blow to the face. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. Automatic. First down.
Yeah, he was working against Big Dan Moses and got a little frustrated. Travis Williams. Dan Moses, the big All-American center, their best offensive lineman. But you'll see it right in this area. Working on him, and all of a sudden they get a late hit here. He goes to punch him in the face at the end of the play.
Wow. The 5th 15-yard penalty in East Carolina in this game. 5 of them. 4:40 left to go here in the third. Here's the option play, comes near side. Great coverage. Oh, mama. What a tackle by Kyle Chase. Talk about a one-on-one.
Yeah, they've got Jason Colson in, and it's a little bit easier. That's not Steve Slayton and the quickness and speed. And all of a sudden, Kyle Chase, who you saw the deflection on the pass, and then they're coming up in run support. They got a guy accounted for with Pat White, and then now you got to come up as a safety and take the pitch man, and boy, does he show up and shows up ugly.
We got people not playing. One is Steve Slayton, who's watching from the sideline, their leading rusher. The other is East Carolina linebacker Quentin Cotton, who we saw walking around injured. He's on the sideline too. Comes to the near side, Schmidt, and he's going to be taken down. Well, I'll tell you one thing. Slayton looks like he's over there to stay. Slayton on the sideline, a right wrist injury we talked about earlier, does not have his helmet on. He's not being shuffled in and out of the game. He's not playing.
And it's an entirely different animal without Steve Slayton in the football game. Now you have to just account for Pat White. He's trying to run it off. Maybe it's cramps. I mean, we saw Darius Renard go out as well, but he's carrying the helmet in the hand where the injured wrist is.
Wow.
Maybe it's cramps. The heat has got to him a little bit, and they're trying to get him some fluids.
3rd down and 14. 3rd and 14. 3 for 7, West Virginia. The purple and gold up and shouting. White looking. White under pressure. White way back. White goes all the way back to the 20-yard line. White looking, just says, I got to get rid of this thing. Throws the Hail Mary. It'll be intercepted. Intercepted by Travis Williams, and East Carolina's got the football.
You know, it does wonders in terms of momentum and changing the momentum of this football game and the confidence boost for East Carolina. But it's just like a punt. You know, you throw it down there, and it's just like a punt on 3rd down for West Virginia. It's a turnover, and it's a confident builder for East Carolina. But this is just as good as a punt if you're West Virginia.
3rd time he's been intercepted today, but Andre, you're exactly right. If he doesn't do that, he's going to be down at about the 20, and the punt's going to come from the 10. So East Carolina gets it back. The 3rd interception off White in this game, but East Carolina's offense has yet to answer the call. And that's what they've got to do here in this second half. That'll be carried straight ahead. Good yardage picked up by Brandon Fractious, that senior. He's had more than his share of running, and you see the officials separating players again.
Well, I'll tell you what, this is turning into a little heated rivalry here in Greenville, North Carolina. This team will not back down. Skip Holtz and his football team will not back down from West Virginia. They looked at this as a challenge, and they are very much in this football game with a nice little shot in the arm with that interception.
Now we'll see if they can find a way to get some first downs. They've been out first down to 19-9 in this game so far. Pinckney on the handoff, nowhere to go. I mean, there'll be a loss on that one, maybe line of scrimmage. That's Brandon Simmons, a running back sophomore who has not played much today, and John Holmes, the strong safety on the hit.
Yeah, you talk about timing in an offense, and they just seem out of sync. James Pinckney and his center, Todd Wingenbach. I mean, he's snapping the football low on timing passes that he wants to get off quick, which disrupts the timing. And then that one, fumbling the snap, not getting the football to Chris Johnson in time, has cost him as well. West Virginia showing up right as he's getting the football.
Another big play, 3rd down and 8. 2 out of 6 3rd down conversions. Looking to the sideline, wide open. and he's got the first down, and we'll get it up to the 48. Bobby Good, a senior wide receiver, gets it.
Boy, he goes all the way through the reads. Sometimes reads are high to low. Some of them are from one side of the formation all the way back to the other. He does a good job of processing things out. Goes to the final read here. The third receiver out here all by himself, running wide open is Bobby Good, and the presence in mind to get north and south. James Pinckney right now, he's in rhythm offensively. Cut him loose and let him go in this football game.
They go with the non-huddle. They've got 5 receivers out there. Pinckney with a first down and a 10. Out of that shotgun at his own 40 where he stands. Takes the rush, moves out of the pocket. He maybe will pass. Wanted to, couldn't get it where he wanted it. Run it out of bounds at midfield. And he'll get a gain on that of about 3 yards. Pinckney on the carry.
I tell you what,
a bad ankle, and he's limping a little bit. He's got a right ankle that's bothered him this week. He missed 2 days of practice, and that time he came off the sidelines limping a little. He may not be able to run the football a whole lot the rest of this game.
Well, I thought he had Will Bland on the sideline on a little comeback there that maybe if he gets his shoulders turned a little bit faster, he's able to get that football out of there. But just sit in the pocket. No pressure there. Once it breaks down, step to the side and keep your eyes and shoulders pointed downfield so you can throw an accurate pass.
There you see the numbers, 12 for 20. Second down and 8 right here for North Carolina. They're still trying to get into West Virginia territory. On the handoff straight ahead, that'll be enough into the territory, and Simmons again on the carry. Brandon Simmons, who has just joined the offense here in this second half as a running back for East Carolina.
Well, they came to us, right before game time, told us, wait, he may get some time. And I'll tell you, just bouncing off people, and they're going right at the heart of this West Virginia defense, right in the middle of that formation where you feel like against a 3-man front, you can have some success. Body on a body and get some push. All of a sudden, the running backs get into those creases, and they're on the second level with those linebackers.
Simmons had not carried the football this year before today's game. Fractious comes into the backfield, third and short yardage on the flip to the near side. And he tries to turn the corner and can't. And don't think he got the first down. Larry Williams on Fractious drove him out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here as to whether or not they got the first down.
Well, he's going to have some time to think about it because we're at the end of the third quarter, but I got to feel like it's decision time for Skip Holtz and his football team.
They have got to keep the offense going now as they're in this football game against the number 4 team in the nation, West Virginia, but they need to get on the board again, trailing 17-7. Just a beautiful late afternoon here in East Carolina. Gary Thorne, Todd Harris down on the field.
Oh, that's
Andre
a beautiful
Ware upstairs.
shot.
Yeah, it is.
Beautiful shot.
And here's a big 4th down play. They got to go for it. Pirate fans have had a lot to cheer about, just not quite enough from their perspective.
And I like this call on the part of Skip Holtz. So right here, you have the game on the line. You know what West Virginia can do when they have the football. Line up and challenge them. Quarterback sneak.
And there it is. And it looks like he got enough. Just straight ahead for James Pinckney.
If you coach against me, just know.
I know.
4th down and an inch, I'm going to call the quarterback sneak.
And why not? It works.
Right here, you just see James Pinckney right here. Get in behind those big grunts and get some push. He's a big, strong quarterback, 6'3", 220, good body lean. Moving the chain.
He had the veterans, Matt Butler, 68, Eric Graham, 78 over there on that side, along with his center, Wiggenbach. They led it, and he gets the first down at 10. They are in West Virginia territory. Looking deep, wants to throw the ball over the middle, wide open at the 20-yard line, and down to 21 with a first down.
Boy, watch the
21-yard gain.
The pocket presence of James Pinckney. He gets pressure from the outside. The throwing lane is in the middle. He steps up. Watch it right here. This is operating. Little pressure from the outside. I'm going to step up into it and then hit my tight end, Devon Drew, for a first down, who happened to be a former quarterback. They got him loaded. Pat Dosh was a former quarterback. Devon Drew. Bunch of them. Quarterbacks are athletic.
Yeah. Devon Drew with his 8th reception of the year and his first of the day. Heisman Trophy winner quarterback Andre Ware. Looking downfield again in the middle. That's deflected, incomplete, and almost intercepted. John Holmes involved after it was tipped by Jay Henry. Delighted to have you with us. College football and a good one. West Virginia, the number 4 team in the nation. We're in Greenville, North Carolina. I'm Gary Thorne with Andre Ware and Todd Harris. About a 3-touchdown favorite, West Virginia. It has not been that kind of game. They've got a 17-7 lead. But this Pirate team from East Carolina has hung tough. West Virginia is expected. You see the plays and time. They've got that. But the yardage, not that much a differential. And especially the West Virginia running game's been held down. A 2nd down and 10 out of the shotgun. Pinckney looking. Big rush. Dumps it off. Great pass. 25 first down inside the 10. That is Philip Henry, but James Pinckney made that as he was getting hit.
Yeah, he took a big-time shot, and that is courage to stand in there. As a quarterback, you know that you're going to catch one in the chops every now and then. And right here, he knows he's going to get hit, and it's the tail end of that, but I'm going to stand in through an accurate ball to my receiver, Philip Henry, who has made play after play for this East Carolina offense.
That was Craig Wilson for West Virginia, who came in and put the hit on. Now it is going to be a 1st and goal. That is going to be Henry's 5th reception, 50 yards.
They're like a bad itch. They just won't go away with it.
Right now, they're a little more than that even for West Virginia, I think. All right, it is 1st down and goal. Pinckney again looking over the middle. Big rush, gets hit. Did he fumble? I think he did. That ball is loose, free and available. No, incomplete pass. A late call made. Johnny Dingle, the defensive end, put the hit on, but Pinckney twice now slammed.
Well, I tell you, this was close. He was trying to get it out of there. It looked like it may have pulled it back, but I think it's a good call by the official right here. He's trying to get rid of it, trying to throw it. It comes out, and East Carolina escapes right there.
You want a review on that?
Not if I'm East Carolina.
Oh, understandably so.
I think I get out of that huddle and get a play call.
That's right. Boy, that was close. Maybe a break right there. West Virginia leads at 17-7, under 14 to go here.
Well, they got a good matchup right here.
Again, comes to the near side. They tried to run the ball. Remember, they got a score here. And out of bounds, Brandon Frashus at about the 8-yard line. Well, after losing yardage, they don't get much here either.
Now, this is playing right into the hands of a fast, quick West Virginia defense. They want you to string the football out, and they play from inside out. They keep good outside leverage, forcing things, holding you up, and then let all the other playmakers show up to make plays. Larry Williams and a host of Mountaineers showing up there.
Well, it is a 3rd down and goal. Ball is at the 9-yard line. 3 for 8 in 3rd down conversions. 5 receivers looking into the middle. The end zone. Incomplete. He was wide open. Philip Henry was open in the end zone, and that ball had some mustard on it, and he couldn't hang on to it.
I'll tell you what happened. James Pinckney was ready to go there, and Philip Henry wasn't ready for the football. Right there. Little mustard on it. Right there. Those you have to catch. Those are why you're in the starting lineup. Those are why you're on the field every Saturday, because you make those plays in practice. You got to translate and make them on Saturdays.
So it'll be a 26-yard field goal attempt that importantly will cut this lead to 7. Lee is out. Snap down and a good one. The kick is up, and it is good. So there's plenty of time left for East Carolina. The field goal brings them within a touchdown against number 4 ranked West Virginia. Well, we've got some players checking out of this game due to injuries and cramps, etc. We'll try and update you. Steve Slayton, the leading rusher for West Virginia, has been on the sideline throughout the last half of the 3rd quarter and here into the 4th. And Chris Johnson, the leading runner for East Carolina, is sitting on the water cooler. He can hardly move. Don't know if that's a turf toe problem that he had before, or if he's got cramps.
Yeah, they mentioned that last week, the turf toe, and we hadn't seen him in this ball game in quite some time. 2 playmakers.
That's taken deep in the end zone by Renaud. He's the great runner who returned one last week. He gets bumped with a shoulder at the 25-yard line, and the Mountaineers get it back. Let's check in with Linda Cohn for a Sports Center in-game update.
Gary, this one needed 2 overtimes. Alabama scored a touchdown, but they missed the extra point. That left the door open for Arkansas. That's right, Mitch Mustaine to Ben Cleveland. Jeremy Davis would kick the extra point to win it. Oh boy, poor Alabama kicker Lee Tiffin. Not only did he miss that extra point in the second OT, he also missed 3 field goals in this game. Arkansas wins.
Aspect of the game that goes very, very under the radar.
Quentin Cotton is back in. So is Steve Slayton. Slayton has come into play. That'll be to the 30, 35, 36-yard line. That is Steve Slayton. So after standing over there on the sideline, their leading rusher is back into the football game with about 13 to go in the game.
And now you see East Carolina, they've played a lot of plays defensively. Fred Wilson, he's down. It may be cramps as well. Quentin Cotton, he was cramping up earlier in this football game. It is a very humid evening here in Greenville, North Carolina. So a lot of players losing a lot of body fluid.
Todd Harris.
Well, just talking with the staffs here, and both of them reporting that Fred Wilson, the linebacker, is down right now. Casey Ross, a starting cornerback, they set out the last series because of cramps. So it looks like what they're trying to do is platoon players in. No report on Steve Slayton or any kind of injury. As you guys saw in the video, he's been shaking his legs trying to get it going. So again, all we can assume right now is cramps. Our note we saw coming out, they were definitely cramps. And this is Wilson. We'll find out what the problem is here. But this is not a cramp situation for him. It looks more like an injury.
Boy, you talk about frustration, though, when you can't perform or can't do your job based on a cramp. Getting in there and you're losing body fluid. That is frustrating for a player.
Slayton has had only 3 carries in the second half in this game. He's going to stay in the football game here. And right now it's ball control for West Virginia. They want to score and they want to take a lot of time doing it. Patrick White at quarterback leading this offense. Their outstanding sophomore. Hands off again. Slayton on the carry straight ahead. 40-yard line. Before he is down, that is Van Eskridge who moved in after he got a 5-yard gain. Slayton, unbelievable. He is their fastest player. After they won the Sugar Bowl last year over Georgia, they went back home and they had a race. All the guys said, all right, everybody claims to be the fastest. Let's have a 60-yard dash. And that's what they did. And Slayton ran the 60 in 6 seconds. Wow. Faster than anybody else on the team.
And he's kind of been held in check there. Only 83 yards, he and Chris Johnson, and only 5 carries for Chris Johnson on it. They just couldn't go on that toe.
East Carolina defense has done a job. That's Slayton again, one to beat, not going to do it. Fine play made on the corner to take him down by Kyle Chase. Chase has had a heck of a game for East Carolina.
Well, now you see Pat White under the center. They want to run some clock, maybe run the football, go into the I formation with Steve Slayton. Going to try to chew some of this clock now. Just a little above 12 minutes left in this football game, but Rich Rodriguez recognizes I got a lead. I got a hungry football team on the other side. I better get rid of some of this time.
Clock ticking away here as they have a second down at the 40-yard line. 2 receivers to the near side. Second down and 10. The lefty comes to the near side on that little flat pattern. It's caught at the 50-yard line. Look out here. The 40. Nobody in front of him. Down to the 20. The 10. The 5. Touchdown. Renard.
Well, that's the play that if you're East Carolina, you cannot afford to have happen. They've got playmakers everywhere, and this time they chose Darius Renard. Right here, nice little screen play. You see the offensive lineman get out in front and block him down the field, and all of a sudden it's just his ability to run with the football after the catch in open space. And he's got speed. I bet you he wasn't very far behind Slayton in that 60-meter race.
His second touchdown receiving-wise, a 60-yard touchdown pass. The extra point kick by Pat McAfee is up, and it is good. And there is the big play of the ball game. Renard's 60-yard TD pass, his 5th catch. He's got 110 yards on the day. 24-10. Renard on the reception for the touchdown, covering 60 yards. It is their longest play from scrimmage this year for West Virginia. And what a big play it was. Patrick White now 15 for 22, passing 200 yards, 2 TDs, 3 interceptions.
And, you know, he just has that cool demeanor. He and Slayton, best of friends, but he is, I mean, just never really seems to get too excited, too high, too low after an interception. Always kind of even keel about him, and that's what you need from a leader at the quarterback position. He doesn't get too excited after that big run. He's happy for his teammate, but he realizes we'll celebrate on the bus on the way to the airport.
And only a sophomore who had 5 starts last year, taken at the line of scrimmage to the 15. East Carolina's offense has to do it again. That is Hewitt, and he got smacked on that one, shy of the 20-yard line. Todd Harris.
Well, if you take a close look at Coach Skip Holtz's left wrist, he wears a wristband similar to the Lance Armstrong Livestrong bands, but this one is purple. It says Pirate Nation, and part of Coach Holtz's project here is getting the spirits, the attitude of Pirate Nation up. He even has kids over to the house on Thursday, not an NCAA violation, and they make dinner, and he's just trying to get the camaraderie. A lot of the players told me, you know, in the past there were cliques on the team. Guys would hang their heads if we got down. He says now it's a team effort. We win together, we lose together. This will be an important drive if they can get this thing pulled off.
Pickney will roll it out to the far side, over the middle, incomplete, going for Andre Allison. Allison's had a tough day today, their leading receiver. Pinkney has gone 14 out of 26, 186 yards, 1 interception and 1 touchdown pass.
Yeah, his wife, Coach Holtz, his wife came in yesterday in the meetings and brought some Pirate Crunch. It was very, very tasty.
Pirate Crunch has made all meetings and is downstairs in our production truck for the game.
She's got a friend for life with me with that stuff.
All right, it brings up a 2nd down and 10. 11 minutes to go in the football game in East Carolina. They've got time, but they've got to move in this offensive series. Pinkney on the handoff, straight ahead off the left side. Maybe a yard or 2, but that's going to be that. There's been very little rushing room in this game for this East Carolina team. There's just nowhere to go.
And they got hit with a haymaker with a big touchdown pass to Renard. You know what? You got time. You can respond. You can get yourself back in this football game. You got to go ahead and not be afraid to open things up to James Pinkney and let him work in the passing game. You're behind. Time is now against you. You got to score, and you got to score quick. But you've got plenty of time to get back in this game. 2 scores down.
They have rushed for a grand total of 26 yards in 21 carries, 1.2 yards per rush. Big 3rd down. East Carolina, a whistle on the play. They had 5 receivers out there, and the flag came in the defensive backfield.
Snap. Delay of game on the offense. Number 7, 5-yard penalty. Remains 3rd down.
He didn't beat the clock.
No, just a little bit too much time in the huddle. And that hole is getting deeper.
And now it'll make it an even longer 3rd down play as it gets moved back. Pirates now have had 7 penalties for 85 yards in this game. Maybe none bigger than that one. It does open the field, spread it out a little bit, but it brings up a 3rd down and 14.
You're trying to convert, but you can't turn the football over here.
Pinkney under rush. His arm may have been hit. It's incomplete, intended for Allison on the near side. He got a rush that time, stepped up, but could not connect on it. And they're going to have to turn the football over. 3 and out.
Well, you know, I like everything's fine. You want to run the football, that's fine and dandy. But the way I think if you're East Carolina to run it is you go to the gun, you spread them out, 4 receivers, or maybe a tight end and 3 receivers, and then run it from that formation because you have West Virginia spread out if you want to line up and go right at them. They've proven in this football game they're not going to allow you to line up in a conventional formation and run the football.
Doherty again averaging over 54 yards with his kicks today. Have a couple of big rolls. That'll be taken at midfield up to the 40, cut back 35, and a great return by Vaughn Rivers. Good field position for West Virginia. Good return, 36-yard punt and an 18-yard return. And now the East Carolina defense called on all day to get that football back. Has to do it again with 9:37 to go. Probably does not surprise you that the Pirates quarterback James Pinkney was a quarterback in the backyard. But which one did he play? When we come back, we'll let you hear from him.
Growing up, I liked to be around Cunningham because he was such a diverse quarterback. He can also throw it in the pocket, but he can get out of the pocket and make plays on his feet. I mean, yeah, in the backyard playing football with the fellas. I used to be around Cunningham, had the 12 jersey, and used to wait in the backyard playing with my other friends.
There he is right now. not so happy. You see the 14 for 27, but they are down 24-10, and they do not have the football in great field position here as the Mountaineers take over again. First down and 10. Slayton. He'll turn it to the 30. Slayton will cut it back and get up to the 25. C.J. Wilson, freshman, moved in on the hit. And Slayton set out much of the third quarter and part of the fourth. Now starting to pick his play up again.
Yeah, now you're going to get a belly full of that big offensive line. They're going to turn the game over, and that's what they do. They get up on you, and then late in the football game, they're going to run behind that fabulous offensive line of West Virginia.
Pirate defense had only a minute 52 of rest time between the touchdown on that 60-yard play and the 3 and out for East Carolina. And that's going to be enough for a first down inside the 20-yard line up to about the 16. Brandon Miles, the senior, on the pass reception. That's good for 11 yards and another first down.
Now this was entering tonight the top rushers in Division I this season after 3 weeks, and you see Steve Slayton right there, and he was averaging 113 in the first quarter coming into this football game. Amazing.
This is a little different game for West Virginia, even though they've got the lead. Not the big blowouts that they've had in the first 3 games over Marshall, Eastern Washington, and last week 45-24 against Maryland. Slayton again on the carry, this time straight ahead, and he's going to lose a yard. The 4th time Slayton has been thrown for a loss in the game, and Flournoy has been in on most of them. Todd Harris.
Well, Gary, here is a prime example of hindsight being 20/20. Steve Slayton accepted a scholarship to go play for Ralph Friedgen in Maryland. He was all set to go be a Terp. They pulled his scholarship. Didn't think he'd be worth the scholarship. Had some other backs in that position, so they withdrew the scholarship from him. Here he is now. I wonder how they felt in College Park last weekend.
Not real happy. And boy, did he feel happy.
Oh,
Good game.
Poetic justice.
A second down and 11. Slayton on the far side to the 20. Again, he's going to go down. And right about at the line of scrimmage for that play. He's not going to get back to the original line of scrimmage. So Steve Slayton, sledding has been tough today. This East Carolina defense, they've had to play a lot, but they've had Slayton pretty well covered, especially when he's trying to go wide.
Yeah, I mean, they've done as good a job as anybody in the country of corralling Steve Slayton. And you know, just some turnovers and just missed opportunities have them trailing in this football game by 2 scores. But I'll tell you what, the defense for East Carolina has played one heck of a football game.
Third down, they run the little screen to the wide side this time, and that's not going to be enough for a first down. Owen Schmidt did a little high hurdle there, got by 1 tackler, then got caught. It'll be about 4 or 5 yards shy of a first down, and it'll bring up a 4th.
Let's watch this, the athletic ability of a big guy, 6'3", 250, who was a former walk-on. Right there. Boom. He loves the collisions. I mean, he wants to hit somebody. He's tearing up face masks and everything. Every week, pretty much, they're changing out his face mask because he's bending them up.
McAfee will come on for the field goal. McAfee is going to attempt a 29-yarder here. And obviously, this is an important 3 points with 6:18 left to go. McAfee's kick is up, and it is through. So they tack on 3 more. McAfee's got a couple here, 2 for 2, 1 of 28, now 1 of 29, and increases that West Virginia lead as they try and go 4-0 to start the season. They are 3-0 now, listed 4 in the nation.
Now here's a hurdle again by Owen Schmidt. Right here, and you see him, just nice athletic play by a big guy, 250 pounds, tough football player, and that's what his face mask looked like a couple of weeks ago. Right there, just all bent up and smushed in. He said he had a titanium one last week. He smushed that thing in. So I mean, every week they're having to do a new one. I'm not sure today if he's stuck it on anybody today, but you talk about just a good football player.
Good tough yardage right there. This team's trying to win their 11th game in a row. Going back to last year, they are second in the nation in win streaks to the TCU team, the Horned Frogs.
Yep.
Who have won 13.
Gary Patterson having a heck of a year down there in Fort Worth, Texas.
They will be playing on Thursday as they are off this weekend. So McAfee with a couple of field goals. White has had a 5-yard run. He's had the pass White to Schmidt early on. White to Renaud for the big 60-yard gain here, as the Mountaineers have just kept on charging, and as a result increase their lead to 27-10. This is the best start for this point in the season that a West Virginia team has ever had in the 113-year history of the program. That'll be taken in the end zone and brought back out to the 20. East Carolina will get a 1st and 10, but right now their worst enemy is that clock with 6:07 left to go. And the fired up West Virginia sideline as Rodriguez, his 6th season, 42-22 the record that he has put up. Last year they had a tremendous year of 11-1. They've won the Big East 3 consecutive seasons now and went on to win against Georgia in the Sugar Bowl. That longest active win streak you saw certainly looks like they're going to continue it here. 1st down and 10, East Carolina. They'll drop that one off under the coverage, 25, 30-yard line, and to the 35 and over, maybe the 37. That is Fractious on the carry, 16-yard gain.
And it's a nice play call there. A lot of coaches like to screen when it's man-to-man, draw the defense to the quarterback, but you can screen against zone coverage as well. Let the defensive lineman go get the big lineman up on the linebackers as well as the 3rd level of the defensive secondary and have some success.
They come back with the end coming back from the wide side. Allison only 3 down on this 3-3 defense, and obviously now everybody playing back.
Well, if you're going to run that middle screen, what Andre Allison has to realize is that you can't dance around in the middle of the field because they show up in a hurry. Get the football and get north and south, and that's what Skip Holtz will be telling him during film study tomorrow.
And Allison comes out limping a little bit himself. Brings up a 2nd down and 10. Looking to the near sideline. Caught at the 45-yard line. Bobby Good on a nice catch from James Pinckney for 9.
Oh, what a well-thrown football by James Pinckney to Bobby Good. An out route, and it's a tough throw way across the field, but you're going to throw it low and outside right here. Read it, get it out, and you see the position of the football away from the defenders where your guy's going to catch it or it's an incomplete pass, but he puts that football right where Bobby Good can come up with a catch.
5:09 left to go here in the 4th. He'll keep it this time and takes it up to midfield. Pinckney. That kind of yardage is nice, but it's not going to do any good right here. They do get the 1st down on it. 1st down and 10. Clock at 5:04 to go.
Yeah, it's going to stop until they set the chains. Then it'll start to go again. So they've got a little bit of time on their side, but boy, you got to really start to challenge this West Virginia defense if you're going to get yourself back in this ballgame.
Tough to do when you've got, of course, a solid pass defense. The nickel in there now at the near side 45-yard line, and then driven back on a little hook pattern right there. That is complete for about 5 yards. That is Jamar Bryant, who's come into the football game, his 1st reception.
Freshman mistake right there. Catch it and get out of bounds. Right here. Push it off, set it up at 6 yards, catch it, get out of bounds. You're not going to break that thing. Get it out of bounds and stop the clock.
Kept it running instead after the gain of 5. 2nd down and 5. Picks the low snap up down to the 30-yard line and takes it down to the 28. James Bryant again on the reception. A lot of room under the coverage, obviously, with West Virginia. Their defense playing way back.
Hey, watch him here. Just a nice little slant route. You'll see him come inside to your screen here across the middle. Boom. Right on time with the football is James Pinckney.
Looking over the middle. That'll be incomplete. Looking for a little hook pattern there that will stop the clock with 4:13 left to go.
You know, no harm done. You needed to stop the clock anyway, and that looked like a broken play. Get rid of it and come back, huddle up. Just get yourself a nice play call here if you're Skip Holtz and this offense.
East Carolina, they have put up a valiant fight here. They lost to Navy, the UAB, and then beat Memphis 35-20 last week. We're looking to build on that here in this game, but down 27-10. Again, over the middle, it is caught, avoids to the 20, and inside the 15-yard line. Good effort. Bobby Good has had a strong 2nd half. He did not start receiving until late in the 1st half.
This is what I wanted to see East Carolina go to earlier in this football game when they had some success in the 1st quarter throwing the football, and then they kind of went away from it. Spread them out and make them defend. They want to run zone coverage. It's going to be a lot of holes in the zone, and now James Pinckney is finding the holes.
Goods 4 for 35 in receptions, got 15 on that play. Pinckney looking into the end zone. And I think that was an attempted. Nope, the flag is down. I was going to say.
Send him to Hollywood.
Yeah, send him to Hollywood. I think Bryant may have put on a pretty good act right there. He had defenders around him, including Bobby Hathaway, 55, but it looked like he just fell down between them. But he gets the flag.
Yeah, I tell you what, he said that the coach is talking to him.
There's no.
They're going to wave it off. Yeah, they saw right through that one.
The ball was uncatchable. Second down.
No, well, I don't know about that. I mean, you know, you're throwing a fade pattern, a guy knocks you off. That wasn't an acting job.
You're right.
He actually got knocked off his route. The coaches really like Jamar Bryant. They say he's got the best hands on the team, but that is interference.
Oh, man.
My goodness.
I take it all back. There was no question. Bobby Hathaway shoved him, and the ball was in the air. Well, that's a break for West Virginia. Pinckney's got it, second down here. Looking, oh, mercy. That one bounced not even near the receiver, Andre Allison. And 3:43 remaining to go.
Well, he's had a lot of bad snaps when he was in the gun, and that really just disrupts the timing. Look at it here. Right there. Having to go down. Now you got to mold the ball, get it up, and then try to get it out to throw a quick pattern. Just throws the timing completely off for the whole play. And that's been happening most of this football game when James Pinckney has gone to the gun.
Todd Wiggenbach was a tackle. He had to move to the center position because of an injury this year. This will be the 10th pass coming up of this drive. And they need that first down. He gets hit. And it's going to be called an incomplete pass. Warren Young, a senior tackle, put the hit on. So it's going to bring up a 4th down. Pinckney's going to have some black and blues when this day is done. He has taken some shots back there. They got to go here, trailing 27-10. They can get a first down inside the 4. He's thrown for 247 yards passing. 15 consecutive 200.
They hit one in the creases of the defense, and they go 3-deep zone. All of a sudden, it throws the timing off.
West Virginia leads it 27-10, 3:33 to go in the 4th. I apologize for a bit of an audio technical difficulty we had there a moment ago. And here, West Virginia's got that 27-10 lead. They've got the football. Only 3:33 left to go. A chance to go 4-0. The number 4 team in the nation against an East Carolina team that has played them tough here today.
Yeah, we're thinking right now, West Virginia, you just want to hold on to the football, work some clock, and not turn it over down here inside your own, inside the red zone.
They got a first down and 10. They're at their own 14-yard line. Slayton on the carry for the 5th time will be thrown for a loss back to the 10-yard line. That has been a positive, as Slayton, a great rusher, has been held to 87 yards prior to that carry. East Carolina will use a timeout here. Slayton had to sit out about a quarter total, I think, with apparently cramps that kept him on the sideline when we started the second half. I mean, all in all, still a very good day. Patrick White, even better at quarterback, has made up for some of the rushing yardage that they needed to get.
Well, you know, what happens with good football teams is you have a couple of stars on the team. And Steve Slayton went out for that period of time. And Pat White basically just took over the football game until he got back. He had some help from Darius Renaud as well. But just a fabulous job on the part of Pat White today.
That's why Rick Trickett, who recruited him, said of White, if we get him, we got a chance to be national champions. Want to remind you that led by Warwick Dunn and Michael Vick, the Falcons are off to a great running start. They may have to take a back seat, not necessarily to the team they're going to be playing, the Saints, but to New Orleans. 13 months after Katrina, the Superdome reopens, 8:30 Eastern, ESPN's Monday Night Football, Falcons and the Saints. In this ball game, for White, a career high 216 yards passing. Keep in mind he had thrown only 27 times total in the first 3 games of the year. And he's had to come out passing the football in this football game and has done so successfully. Going to make it even tougher on future opponents of this team. White with a second down, long yardage 13. Nowhere to go again, this East Carolina defense. Maybe down under 3 minutes left in this game, but for Kyle Chase, who made that tackle and company, they are continuing to drive. They have done themselves proud on defense today.
I'll tell you what, Greg Hudson has done a fabulous job getting his players to play hard for the entire ball game. And I mean, they have really fought and stood in there with a high-powered West Virginia offensive football team. There he is right there, the defensive coordinator for East Carolina. Boy, he should be proud of his troops. You know, you talk about they gave up 27 points, but boy, sometimes they would just had their backs against the wall with unbearable field position.
Yep. 2:22 left to go in the football game. White will come under center. Third and long yardage. Going to carry that one. East Carolina trying to strip the football at the 13-yard line, but can't get it freed up. Slayton again on the carry. He knows he's been in a football game. He's used to breaking a lot of long yardage plays, but this team, they have keyed on him as expected, and they have made it very tough for him to gain yardage. He's been thrown for a loss 5 times in this football game by the East Carolina defense.
I think he's still suffering a little bit from the cramps. I mean, they've subsided a little bit, but the muscles are tight now, and he's just really not cutting loose, even when he's got some space to run. And you look at here, West Virginia rushing, gone over 300 yards in 6 consecutive games, dating back to the Sugar Bowl against Georgia. And then now, so tonight, 153 on the entire evening against this East Carolina football team.
Can they run the table? Can they have an undefeated season? They have got a beginning of the schedule, which in all fairness is not that difficult. They've got a Louisville game that everybody's already talking about that'll take place on November 2. But if they can get by that one, maybe.
I think it really hinges on the fact that if Louisville is healthy, if they get Brian Brown back for that football game, they're going to be without Michael Bush, who's out the rest of the season. But that's the game right there, November 2nd. That may be the game in college football when you match those two up. And I think they were exposed a little bit tonight in the pass game, in pass defense. Louisville may be the best team in college football at throwing the football around. And I'll tell you what, if they defend like they did tonight, it's going to be a long evening for Rich Rodriguez in West Virginia.
Protecting the punter, who's going to be all the way back in the end zone here. Scott Kozlowski just gets the line drive, wants the bounce, will get it all the way up to midfield. It will take the bounce for West Virginia. East Carolina will get the football back at their own 41-yard line, but only 2:02 left to go here in the football game.
And they got to hustle out because this clock's going to start. Remember, that's the new rule in college football. Change of possession. As soon as they whistle, get the change set, they'll whistle it and the clock will start. So you got to have a play called and be ready at the line of scrimmage.
East Carolina, barring a miracle comeback, will be 1-3 on the start of this season, while West Virginia will be protecting their number 4 ranking in the nation and will be 4-0 with a win here. And obviously got to put it up in the air. Pinckney looking deep on the sideline. That'll be incomplete. James Bryant again, who's become a target here in the 4th quarter. That'll fall away and stop the clock at 1:53.
Yeah, if a guy is moving, if he's on the move, you got to take a little bit off the football. If he's planted in a curl route coming right back at you, go ahead, you can zip it in there. But if he's moving away from you laterally, you got to make sure you throw him a football with some touch there. James Pinckney, a little bit too much mustard on him.
This will be a 2nd down and 10. Only 3 rushing they got in there, though. That ball is going to be incomplete. What a great reach in defensively. We have seen the defensive backs of West Virginia do that a number of times. That's Redwan Malik, who's had a shoulder injury. He's been out 3 games, and I think that's the first time we've called his name today.
Well, watch this shot that James Pinckney takes right there, helmet on the quad, and that one hurts a little bit. He has fought hard today, but he just really hadn't done quite enough in this football game to overcome this West Virginia defense.
Oh, for his last 6 attempts in the air. We get another player down for West Virginia with 1:48 left to go in the football game. We have just had the cramping continuous today for a number of players. That's why you're seeing some of the guys coming off the bench now late in the football game for both teams.
Watch the right side of your screen, and Johnny Dingle right there. You see the One guy, his own man, kind of undercuts him a little bit. Boy, those hurt. They're working right around that knee area.
Johnny Dingle down. James Pinckney gets a hand. He's coming out of the football game for East Carolina at quarterback. Rob Cass, number 14, a redshirt freshman, 6'4", 250-pounder out of Longwood, Florida.
I watched him throw in warm-ups, and boy, he's got a big-time arm. He can really zip it around.
He's going to get a chance to do that right here in the final moments. For Pinckney, if he does not come back, his numbers on the day: 20 for 40, 247 yards with a touchdown and 1 interception today for James Pinckney. He is a senior, 29 consecutive starts. And give credit to him, he had academic problems after the football season in 04. He had to earn his way back into college, and he did.
Yeah.
And back onto the team. Out of the ball game, Johnny Dingle. So Krasin at quarterback. Rifles one to the 40. Flag goes down. Driven out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Bryant again there on the reception. And a flag on the near side. 24-yard gain.
And we talked about that big-time arm that he has. I mean, right there on a little corner route, just zipping it in there right away.
West Virginia called on that one on the hold. Krass comes over to get the call from the sideline. One of the younger players get an opportunity to get some game experience here. 1:41 left on the clock.
Yeah, we really didn't know who the backup.
On the defense, number 3, 10-yard penalty from the end on first down.
You see this, it's going to come right into your screen, right here at the bottom of the screen. Little hole inside, you see it right there. That matchup right there. He gets a little hold, a little bit extra on the tail end of that play.
So Rob Krass will bring the team all the way down to the 23-yard line. He has to handle the low snap as well. That'll be caught for about a 3-yard gain by Philip Henry on the far side. And the clock is running with 1:29 left to go.
Todd Wiggenbach is just having some trouble getting those gun snaps back there. It's because he's got a nose guard over him all night long. I mean, right there trying to snap it and then get it back there and pass block all at the same time. A guy right over your face mask the entire night. And it really has disrupted him to the point where it's thrown the timing of the offense off most of this football game.
That'll be the incomplete, stopping the clock.
See the low snap there again. If you got to catch it, get it out fast. That's frustrating right there, because you can't catch it, mold it, and get it out. You can't really even get the laces on it a lot of times if you're a lace thrower. I was always wanted that lace, right? You want to feel the lace. Aikman always threw the football. He never used a lace.
Amazing, because most quarterbacks, as you say, like yourself, want that for control. Krass fakes. He's going to run it. Third down here. He'll get it down to the 15 and about the 12-yard line. And maybe enough for a first down.
I think he's got it.
Looks like it. 7 for a first down. And he got it.
I mentioned the fact earlier, Skip Holtz, he doesn't really let anyone know who the backup quarterback is. We didn't know who was coming in, whether it was going to be Brent Clay, Robert Cass, or Patrick Pinckney. It turns out it's Rob Cass. And this kid looks pretty good so far.
Another minute left to go in the game. 5 receivers. Rob Cass gets hit as he lets that one go, and it'll be incomplete in the end zone. Even with just 3 men rushing, they're getting guys into the backfield. Lewis on the coverage that time in the end zone. And Dykes was the man who put the pressure on the quarterback.
Yeah, that's what makes West Virginia so good, is that they can get pass rush with just 3 guys. They line up, and it's a nose guard and a guy over the tackle on both tackles, and they just come after you. And you chip on them, you block them, but they somehow get in the face of the quarterback enough to disrupt the throw.
Big job when you have only 3 down. 51 seconds left. A second down and 10. Picks it up off the ground, runs into a blocker, turns near side to the 10, and will be taken down at the 9-yard line. So Cass gets 3 on the carry, and that is Kevin McLee who took him down.
Well, he'll mature into that, figuring that, well, it's better to, at this point, throw it away or get myself out of bounds and stop the clock.
It's still running at 26 seconds right now. Cass again looking. That is going to be incomplete. Bryant, the intended receiver. Amazing thing about this West Virginia defense, they had only one defensive back returning as a starter, and that was McLee, number 43. They are fairly young in that defensive backfield, and yet, as you've seen the way they've played in this game, they've done a pretty good job. Came in 33rd in the nation against the pass on defense, 55 against the rush. You've seen Quentin Andrews, freshman. They say he's got a big future out there now.
They really like him a lot. And it's a young secondary. 2 juniors out at the corner positions, and a redshirt freshman and a sophomore at the safety.
That's going to be incomplete. Flag goes down. With their victory here, West Virginia is going to be loving the month of September. It'll be their 12th straight win in games played in September. Talk about good starts.
Pass interference on the defense. Number 3. Ball will be placed at the spot of the infraction. Automatic. First down.
Not happy with the penalties, even with the lead late in the game, as he's trying to keep his team away from that. James Pinckney getting his arm wrapped with ice over there. 18 seconds left to go. Cass trying to take him in for a touchdown. Lobs one into the corner for Bryant, and that is incomplete. Again on the coverage, Antonio Lewis, who's been a busy cornerback in this game and has done an exceptional job. 19 tackles for him, one of their leading tacklers, as well as a pass defender.
You know, when you come in and you face the number 4 team in the country like this, and it's such a talented football team, West Virginia, you got to have some breaks go your way, and you can't make mistakes at inopportune times. And that's what's happened to East Carolina in this football game. They didn't get the breaks. The big punt return where it was fumbled, they didn't come up with that. And all of a sudden, West Virginia, they go down and score, and you find yourself playing from behind.
That is going to be intercepted. Lewis in the end zone, and with 7 seconds left to go, that's going to do it for West Virginia. And we should note in that first half, that was a ball that was inside the 10-yard line of the Mountaineers, that if East Carolina had recovered on the punt return, they would have had it inside the 10. The East Carolina player tried to pick it up and score on it. You can't do that in college ball on a punt like that that's mishandled. So if they'd just fallen on it, they would have had the football. They didn't, and at that point, it could have been a turning play in the game.
I think so, because at worst, you're looking at 14-10 instead of being down 14-7.
And that's going to do it. So East Carolina gave it a gallant effort, but the number 4 West Virginia team comes away with a 27-10 win. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Linda Cohn's going to be coming up next. For Andre Ware, Todd Harris, and all of our crew, I'm Gary Thorne. We thank you for joining us here. Our final, the Mountaineers 27 and the Pirates 10. Now Linda Cohn, ESPN2 College Football Scoreboard Show. From East Carolina, we bid you adieu.